All right, welcome back, everybody, to The Horror Returns. I'm Lance, and with me, as always, are my co hosts Philip, Brian, and legend in our minds, it's Pedro. Pedro Nunez. What's up, man?
Greetings and salutations. I'm right here from beautiful Los Angeles, California. Just ready to give my top 10 and bottom 10 of the year. And
All right.
Happy New Year to all of you guys. It's just we're barely getting started here with 2023. So let's
Happy
see
New
let's see how
Year.
this year's goes. Let's see how this year goes.
Yeah. Happy New
Ought to
Year.
be fun.
Happy New Year. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is this our third or fourth year in a row to no, at least, right? You'll come on
Yeah,
after our
yeah,
best and
yeah.
worst.
Thereabouts. It's always an honor to be on, and one of my favorite things to do is to be on this show. And this is gonna be a very interesting year because we got that Frightmare meetup. That's I'm about, I would say, about 90% in. So other
That's
than a
good.
couple little hiccups that might come up, I will be there as
Yeah.
well.
That'd be
You'll
awesome.
you'll be there. That's good. That's good
Yeah.
enough for me, man. I'm taking you at your word. And I there's a rumor there may be a Lollapalooza coming up as well. I don't know. That's last time I saw you. I think it was at a Lollapalooza. Am I right?
Was that before or after
That's,
I saw you at in Salem?
oh, you're right. That was
I
before. That
randomly
was
ran
before
into you in
Salem.
Salem, Massachusetts.
Yes, we
Oh
got
yeah.
trapped
During
in the or
Halloween, by
locked
the
in
way,
the
which
haunted
was
house.
yeah, during Halloween, which was pretty alpha, right? I mean, we were there when it counts.
Yeah, it was a good time to be in Salem. So
Remember those ticket takers that were doing that Flintstones thing where they were walking with the little shack, and we were like, is this a con or what? Because there was people.
yeah.
So there was this. Let me paint the picture for the people. There was this haunted house that you had to pay money to get into, and it said
Yes.
tickets here, like a cartoon with all these arrows pointing at tickets here. And so that's where Lance bought the tickets, and we were able to get in. But then we noticed that somebody was inside the shack, and they kept on moving the shack with their leg. Like they'll pick up the shack and then they'll just walk with it. And we're like, maybe this is not even the real guy that's selling the tickets. Maybe it's some sort of scam, right? And we're like, that's kind of weird. But that was a good
Yeah,
time.
That
it
seems
was a little
extravagant
suspect.
for a haunted house scam.
And then me and Lance couldn't find our way out of that haunted house.
Yeah, that was the fun part, man. Getting
This
stuck,
is
getting
how we
locked
get
in
rich,
there.
I tells you.
All right. Well, you guys, shoot, Pedro, what's going on with you, man? Are the rumors true about Kayfab and Pedro and what's
Uh,
what's going on,
well,
dude?
we're on a little bit of a hiatus right now. I just got a little burned out on wrestling. I think, there's actually a lot of news that broke this past week. I don't know if me and Brian should go into an impromptu wrestling returns little mini thing here going on, but for a while there was a lot of animosity within the wrestling community with the whole AEW versus WWE thing, and I just got burned out on that, man. And it seemed like every time I would go
Yeah.
online, it was like, there's just competing factions of fans, and but I would say I think it's died down now. I don't know, Brian. Maybe you could correct me on that. Maybe because I haven't been on and really kept up anymore, but I don't see it as much lately as it was maybe like a month, 2 months ago. And just people
Uh,
making fun of like the AEW owner Tony Khan and the way he looks. He's a very eccentric
yeah,
guy. So go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say I agree with you. I think it's died down a little bit, but it's still a little bit there.
Yeah, because the reality to me is that we're living in a very, very interesting, and it's literally an embarrassment of riches when it comes to like match quality and wrestlers having jobs and just we're in a very good time right now, and I think this is going to be a very nostalgic time in about 10 years. And for us to spend all this time just kind of like talking shit about either company and just picking sides, it doesn't make it that fun. So I decided to take a little break from that, but who knows? Maybe we might come back, early in the middle of the year or so. We got WrestleMania season coming up, which is in my hometown. So, and there's a lot of people from the binge world that are coming to LA. So I'm gonna be here with them as well. Um, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
so what else have you got going on?
Well, for this last, I guess I could go into my cool of the week.
Yeah, cool of the week. That's so we'll get it started.
Well, I've just been kind of I've kind of been catching up on a lot of the quote unquote Oscar contender movies. A lot of A24.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Already,
yeah.
okay.
A lot of A24 movies. Because those little artsy fartsy films are the ones that tend to get a lot of attention during this time of year. So I
Right.
saw a couple of them that were pretty good. I saw one that's called Funny Pages. Typical like A24. I don't know if any of you guys caught it. It
Haven't
it
seen
came
that
out.
one.
Yeah. It's about this kid who wants to be an artist for comic books, and he ends up hooking up with this very eccentric older guy, and hilarity ensues from there. It's a pretty good movie.
Hilarity ensues on an A24 film?
Yes, in the A24 way.
Okay.
Let's just put it that way.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Yes.
Kind of like, is it a remake of Apt Pupil then?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I saw another interesting movie. It's called To Leslie. I saw that one. I don't know if any of you guys caught
Okay.
that one. That one was interesting. It's about this young lady who wins the lottery, and she's a recovering well, she's not a recovering alcoholic. That's later, but
Right.
she was an alcoholic.
She's trying to
Yes.
recover.
Yes, and it's another one
Okay.
of those kind of A24-ish style storylines where it's almost like as you guys know, like they kind of they have a camera on them just for like a couple hours of their story, and then there's not really any kind of resolution. It just kind of ends. That's just the way A24 does their things.
Oh, sure. More of a slice of life thing.
Yeah, exactly. So
Gotcha.
So that was another one that I saw that's pretty good.
Long as it's not too Jennifer.
No. And remember, there's about 5 of those. There's two
right.
Jennifer. There's two with a two Jennifer. There's two Jennifer Returns, I think, or some shit like that. But there's a shitload of those movies. And that's pretty much it. I've been watching a lot of old movies. For some reason,
All right.
I revisited like Slither and Wolf Creek. I saw those again because I've never seen the television show of Wolf Creek, so I wanted to see it. So and I know it's on Shudder, I think. So
Okay.
I caught up on the movies. But yeah, other than that, I've just kind of been working and just kind of chilling out, waiting for baseball season to start.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're not catching up on all the Teen Wolf to see the new upcoming movie.
No, that's not my
Okay.
thing, man. No.
Well, here I'll jump in. I got a couple of not so cools.
Uh-oh.
You guys recommend? Well, I guess you didn't exactly recommend them. I'm just a glutton for
Ooh.
punishment.
Uh-oh.
But
all right. Well.
I checked out the Requiem.
Yeah,
my
too. Was it?
Yeah.
Did you not want to throw her in the water?
Oh no, that was the most annoying that I've ever seen a human being be in general, much less her by herself. What was that? The girl from Clueless, Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah.
No.
She was
Jeez.
terrible in that movie. I don't even
Ouch.
like. Man, I don't. They had to pay her the entire budget of the film to make that work.
I've never been so angry with the character. I was just like, somebody just throw this bitch in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Wait, but we have to set our raft on fire. What? I watched Re-Memory, Peter Dinklage. I've heard it wasn't great.
Oh, was he
And I
like
was just
investigating something?
Yeah, I was just kind of scrolling past and clicked on that one just to see what it was like, and yeah, it was pretty boring. A lot of plot holes.
Oh, that's
but I do have a couple of cools though. I watched the second season of Alice in Borderlands, which it's on Netflix. Have you guys seen that at all?
I've heard of it.
No.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a Japanese horror series thing. It's like their version of Squid Game, I guess, kind of.
Ah, okay. I have seen, I think, the trailer for this. It sounds familiar.
Not bad. It's a little cheesy. It's better if it's like Japanese with English subtitles, just maybe because of the voice actors in English, or they give it a little extra layer of cheese on top. And like, please don't pay attention to the plot holes. It's
Yeah, we
They
are
get kinda
going.
ridiculous. They're like,
We are
"Yeah."
going to the borderlands,
Yeah.
and will you accompany us?
They're like, oh, this guy said the color blue. That must mean we should go up the stairs and turn left to solve this puzzle.
Oh, that's
You
a
know,
stretch.
it's like, wait,
That's a
where do
stretch.
you come up with that logic? It's like astrology, you know?
Oh,
The
boy.
planets were aligned this particular way when you were born, and that's why you're an asshole.
Right?
But yeah, but it was still pretty enjoyable. I like that series, and I did check out The Sadness since you guys told me about
Ooh,
it.
Okay.
That one was pretty fucking good, man. It's graphic as hell. Taiwan horror. It was pretty awesome. I liked it.
Yeah, you've seen that, Pedro, haven't you?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Sadness.
It's on my
Okay,
list.
cool. All right,
Yeah,
I thought it might be. I thought it might be.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have wound up like number one like it was for Nez, but
Right?
it might have inked in there into my top 10. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
fun
movie.
to watch.
Good movie. Brian, you got any?
Yeah, let me go real quick because I'm telling the guys before we start recording, as you can probably hear right now, you might hear an hair dryer in the background. My daughter's getting her hair done,
It's not that bad.
so I apologize. I only got 2 this week. I'll start with my not so cool. I saw the sequel to Terror Train, the Tubi.
Oh no.
Straight to
Why did you-
Tubi. They
Brian,
put out a
Brian.
sequel. I have
Come
to. I
on.
got. I'm a completist.
I guess so.
completist.
Yeah, the Amityville Stories tells us that.
Yes, Pedro's right on the nose right there. They put out a sequel, I believe, 2 months after the first one, just in time for.
Ouch.
And I would have to say the first one had its moments where it was like it could have been like a cheesy, low budget slasher movie. You could have got enjoyment that way, but the second one, the story made no sense. Like the characters from the first one returned to go back on the train,
Because why not?
and it's almost they get tricked to coming on the train because someone's like setting up some kind of like celebration of the events of the previous murders and stuff like that, and it's just really boggles your mind of why these people would even think to even get on the train. And then it turns into like a bad soap opera, and it's just weird how it just came off.
A bad soap opera. What?
Yeah, the first one was a really
Elaborate,
bad.
please.
I think that's
Just
a
the
oxymoronic
acting.
statement, by the way.
The acting, it was like young adult soap opera. They
Oh,
tried to
no.
put these like storylines in there, and I'm just like, just kill somebody.
Just kill somebody.
Just kill somebody. Just give me a reason why
Like-
there's a killer, and then have the killer murder somebody.
Isn't that what
Yeah,
those
no.
movies are about? Or supposed to be about?
Yeah, this one just kind of went into the like they tried to. I don't know if they decided let's throw some more storyline into this so we can maybe squeeze a third movie out. I don't know. If you got Tubi, which you should have Tubi, it's free. I guess
totally worth
if you have nothing to do and just need something in the background, that's
Man,
the only.
some of these Tubi originals, I tried them. I just can't get into them, man. They look like they were shot with a camcorder half the time, and it's
Yeah,
like,
Oh,
it's always the same
production-
shit too. They always try to give you some soap opera shit, and all of them
Yeah.
are the same thing, you know. And it's like I'm not gonna go,
Well.
and I gotta sit through commercials. Fuck that, you know.
Yeah, the
I'm not gonna
production
go there.
values. The production value's low.
right?
You couldn't even get some practical kills. Like the stab wounds were digital. The characters
Yikes.
were just probably this is I don't know if this counts as something that would go already on my bottom list for 2023 since it came out the last day of December.
I think you can squeeze it in there.
Okay.
If it's still on the list by the time it rolls around, it deserves it.
All right.
And you know what?
We
If
have
it's
the
still on the
first one
list,
on
it
the
would be a
list.
pretty good year for horror then, because it's
That's
way early.
right.
It's way
That's
early
right.
to start thinking about this shit.
All right. Making it official. It's the first one on the
Okay.
list.
All
All
right.
right. If it
And,
counts, it's a Tubi movie.
I guess I didn't The next one, I don't know if it's cool because it's
Okay.
incredibly slow. Like incredibly slow. Lance, I kind of want you to check it out too because you like your slow burns. It's the
Well, except
new
that. Okay.
Except what?
Andor.
Yeah,
Andor.
true. That's right.
it's the new movie on Amazon, Nanny.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
I don't know, man. I saw the trailer. It looks pretty creepy.
It has its moments. It has its creepy moments. It's well shot, well directed. I'm spacing on the director's name. She is going to direct the Night of the Living Dead sequel,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and she has a short film called. It's a vampire film called Suicide by Sunlight that I guess
Okay.
is picked up by
That's what that
Jordan
is.
Peele. And
Oh,
Jordan
come
Peele is
on.
going to turn
Is,
into a feature length.
is he going to direct though, or James? Or is he
He's
going to
produced.
James Wan it?
She's going to direct it.
Okay.
He's just it's going to
Gotcha.
be through his company. So
Cool.
I see a lot of good things for her coming as a director, but the story was just slow. It's about a lady. She's an immigrant from Senegal.
I'm
She
gonna
gets
watch.
a
I'm
job
gonna go
as
ahead and watch it this week.
yeah. She gets a job as a nanny, and then creepy shit happens. But it takes too long to get there, and then when something happens, it kind of is drawn out to the next thing, and it kind of has one of those endings where I guess you kind of decide what's really happening or what has happened.
The ending kind of it was weird because I watched it too, and you're right, it was pretty good. But the ending, I was like, should I rewind it and try to make sense of this shit? But I was like, nah, I'm good. I got other shit to do, and I just never went back to
other
it.
stuff.
But it was one of those endings, yes, for sure, that people either like or fucking hate.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I will say it was well made and well acted. The only thing I've seen the main actress in, she was on that DC show Titans.
Gotcha.
She was the Starfire character, and then she was in Us.
Okay.
She played a young. Okay, when the flashbacks to when Lupita Nyong'o's character was young.
Okay.
She played the mom.
That was her. Oh, she
No,
played
she
the
played
mom.
the mom. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
those are the
I
only
remember.
two things.
I remember reading. I remember reading the old Teen Titans comic books
Mhm.
with the Perez artwork and stuff like that. And when
Mhm.
Starfire came out, I used to take those comic books into the bathroom for a few minutes, and
I'm sure you did, Lance.
they had her drawn very proportionate, I guess. What am I trying to say here? But
No,
all right,
we
so
got you. We got you.
I'll definitely check it out then, Brian.
And
That'll be my homework for this week.
And I meant to ask you. I know you've seen The Apology. What did you think before you get into your cool?
My feelings on The Apology.
Yeah.
I thought it was well done. It was more of a stage play really than a movie.
Yeah.
Because it was single setting, but the wife fucking hated it. I was hoping she would kind of like it because Christmas and all that, but she's like, do we really have to count this as one of our Christmas movies? I think it was just way too dark for her. But it just too dark for the wife, Brian. But I like the twists and turns in it for sure.
Yeah, I think it was more so I don't know if I really enjoyed the whole movie, but it just kind of one of those situations where it makes you think, what would you do in that situation?
Yeah, I don't think the guy would have made it that long for me.
No.
But,
I was gonna say that was the thing about that movie. Like once the big reveal, quote, because it's not really a reveal, it's the motivation, right? It's like, okay, that's very early in the movie. So so the fact that these two characters are by themselves and then the big reveal comes out and the someone admits of something. Now I'm thinking, okay, there's still like an hour and 20 minutes left. How the fuck are they gonna how the fuck are they gonna keep these two characters without reacting to that news in a very violent way? And I gotta give it to them. I think they had more hits than misses. I think I was convinced that throughout the film they were able to come up with ways to just keep the story going without going into the third act 20 minutes in. So that was good. That was good.
I agree. All right, Lance, what's your cool movie?
Oh, what's yours? The Nanny?
Yeah, I'll go with The Nanny.
Or- We gonna go with that? Okay.
Yeah,
And
I tried to.
we're not talking Fran Drescher here, are we?
No,
We
I
did
tried
that
try
2
to get
weeks
in
ago.
that.
That's
Tried
horrible.
to get in that new Christian Bale movie before we started recording, but I didn't have time.
Okay.
The Pale Blue Eye on Netflix.
I watched it. It was good. I watched it.
Yep.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Slow-
Yeah,
Slow
yeah, I
burn.
saw that one too.
Slow
It
burn,
wasn't bad.
talkie,
Yeah.
but good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it was there's a movie called The Raven that's real similar to it. That's the one I was thinking of.
Oh, with
Watched the trailer and I was
Okay.
like, have I seen this movie before? But no, it was good.
what's his name?
What's his nuts, as Nez would say.
In The Raven?
Nez is always saying, "Oh, it's got what's his nuts in it."
Damn, I can't remember his name from Better
Well,
Off
it's not-
Dead.
Oh, John Cusack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
he is
leading
in that. Yeah,
one.
you're right.
That's right. Okay, my cool of the week. Well, first of all, Brian, this is for you. I've got a not so cool of the week. In other words, it was okay, and that's the adaptation of Mr. Harrigan's Phone. It wasn't. I didn't hate it. Okay. I
Oh,
didn't
that's
hate
also on my list.
But
we'll get to it.
Have you read it? Have you read it, Pedro? The novella?
No, and after this, I don't want to. I don't want anything to do with
Okay.
Mr. Harrigan's whatever phone
Well-
or laptop or tablet.
Or whatever.
Yeah, somebody needs to
throw 'em all in the
disconnect
lake.
that phone.
Delete
tell you-
Mr. Harrigan's porn collection.
I will say this, Brian. The reason that I liked it is because I'm a kind of a. You're a completist when it comes to movie series. I'm sort of a completist when it comes to film adaptations. So the closer it is to the book, the better. And it was basically word for word right out of the book, just like a enactment on screen. The ending, they might change it just a tiny little bit, but I mean, it's not one of those exciting books with a big cliffhanger ending for sure.
So this is a book. It's not a short story. Good
No, it's a
Lord.
novella. It's about 100 pages. It's about a little over 100
Oh,
pages.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So.
In the book, did they
Did anything
at
happen in
least-
the book? Because
did they at least detail the deaths so you can
Yeah,
at
they
least
did.
envision it in your
Yeah,
head?
very much so. Yeah, very much so. And then he did. One of the deaths involved the shoe shine kit in a little bit more of a graphic way, which they did leave out of the movie. You're right. It was like they were making this movie for network TV or something, right?
Yeah, I wanted
It's
the,
like,
the soap
'cause-
scene. I wanted to see that.
They didn't even show it, man. And then because in the book, I think that the guy like shoves the shoe cleaning kit up his ass. Part of it.
You know, that's what I was thinking when you said it was a little more graphic, and I was like,
Right.
maybe I'm just gross and I shouldn't go there.
You're right, Brian. In the movie, they just say, "Oh, he jumped out of the window and he was holding his shoe shine kit."
Yeah, I mean, I know we got spoiled with the sadness, with the graphicness, but I mean, come on, Netflix.
Okay. All right, I'll go into my cool of the week.
Okay.
Also my disappointed of the week that I didn't have mushrooms or acid on hand.
Mm.
Finally got around to seeing 3,000 Years of Longing. Have you seen it, Pedro?
no, I haven't.
the
But
genie
it's
in
on the
the
queue.
movie?
It's on the queue. I
Don't
haven't.
do it unless you've at least got something.
Well, I'm drinking
Be
right
it-
now,
be it
so I might
green.
do it right after this show.
Okay, just take my word for it, man. When this dude's playing an instrument and then the instrument grows arms and also starts playing the strings along with him, you're like, oh,
sounds
this
fun.
is where we're going.
This is a
Yeah, it's a
psychedelic
trip.
I'm ready
man.
for it. I've heard good things
It
about
is
it, so
a
I'm ready to check it
Oh,
out.
it's a fun movie, man. It's really good. It's very much like it's like those old movies that they had. I don't know, I think they were big, like in several of them in the 60s and 70s, where it was or storytelling, right? And it would go back kind of in a fairy tale style, and then it would kind of reenact the tale that's being told.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
the other person would tell a story and then they would show it on the screen and the other person. So it's kind of like that. I think you'll enjoy it. It's you guys would probably all like it. But special effects wise, I really wish I had been tripping. At least some shrimps, Philip. Some shades of Mandy.
There you go.
So yeah, 3,000 Years of Longing. It's good. It give you such a crick in the neck. All right. Philip, or guys, before we move on, Pedro every year you join us around this time, and every year you brought your best and your worst. Where do you want to start, man?
So I'll start talking a little bit about the TV shows that I really enjoyed, which is a lot of the ones are the ones that were talked about last week. I really loved Andor. I thought Andor was, I mean,
that's how we're gonna start this. Okay.
No, I really, because again, there's a lot of things now that Disney owns Star Wars. There's so many little worlds that they could explore without fucking giving us another Skywalker story. There's so many little layers and pockets of that universe that have gone unexplored, right? And so I think the politics, I think a lot of the kind of the internal conflict of the Empire, it's something that's never really talked about. We just kind of accepted that this big fucking, Gothic thing is in power. So it's like it's nice to see how much of a resistance there was. And then you also have some of the more like the underlying themes of like how the resistance has to kind of turn and be the monster to kill the monster. I like that whole thing.
Okay. I got you.
Like what's the guy what's his name, man? The older guy from the Thor movies. What's his name?
Skarsgård.
Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård. He's like the biggest scumbag on the show, and he's supposed to be the good guy, but he's all about because he's a spy, so he has to keep that going, right? And then any little threat is gonna compromise that, and just the way that like the Mon Mothma scenes as well, like she's very stressed out. I love all that shit. That's just some great acting, and you see the stress and the pressure. A lot of the scenes with like Mon Mothma remind me of like the Hans Landa scenes from Inglourious Basterds, which she's like in the middle of that whole political scene, with a lot of like high rank Empire people there, and she's got to manipulate and walk through all that, right? And when we're kids and we're watching all this, we don't think about the minutia of all that stuff. We just accept it. So the fact that Andor kind of brought us that, pretty cool, And then you got Andy Serkis double dipping as usual, which is always a plus. The guy's getting paid twice, 3 times per franchise half the time, which is cool. I don't blame him. So that was a nice little subplot. Should have gone 12 episodes? Maybe not. I don't know about all that, but it still kept me intrigued the whole way. And I love how that fucking show ended. The final line, because it brought Kazdan, it brought him full circle, right? It's like now he accepts that if he has to sacrifice himself, then it's all worth it, and that was awesome. So, anyways, so I really like that.
Sounds pretty good, Lance.
Yeah, he watched it. Obviously, Pedro watched it as a grown up. I tried to watch it as the 11-year-old kid that I was when Star Wars first came out. So there's the difference. I see your points, man. I am looking forward to season 2. I'll tell you that. They set it up pretty nicely.
I'm going to hit you with one that I felt they really hit the landing, which is kind of like people have said they didn't, and some people say they did. I think The Walking Dead hit the landing. I really do. I think listen, they had a lot of.
Are we going to disagree on every literal thing we talk about tonight, Pedro? Because if so, that's going to be a lot of fun.
They had a lot of masters to serve at the end, right? They had fucking 10,000 shows that are spawning off of this show, for one. But I thought the emotional impact was there. I really love Negan's last scene. I really love Dixon, how he just rode off into the sunset. The only thing was that like
he's headed
all the way to
Paris.
France.
Yeah, but the only thing is that nobody told him to leave. Like there's not one scene. There's not one scene in that fucking show where they told him go discover France or Europe and see what's going on. He just took it upon himself to just leave, But I thought the characters had enough equity with me to where the emotional part really hit towards the end, and of course they teased it there at the end with the Rick storyline.
Sure.
Although there was a scene there that really bothered me where he's like barefoot in the mud and there's like one of the zombies is trying to bite him. He came a little too close to comfort right there, man. Like, you survived this long, and this is how it's gonna end.
It's how you go out getting bit in the mud by a zombie.
I imagine. So that's another one. Peacemaker was great. The Boys was great.
Oh yeah.
But the Cabinet of Curiosities, that was my favorite show of the entire.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one, man.
Yes,
That's
it was a great anthology show, old school style. I think all the episodes. I'm going to say it. All the episodes hit, all of them. The one with panels because models was my favorite because that last scene there, that was a fucking trippy episode.
It was, yeah,
but it was
super
trippy. In that very like the way, he's good at that, right? Panels knows how to, like, it was trippy in that very unsettling way, and it was basic when you think about it. But that ending shot of that creature just walking into the city, because we know what
who knows where it goes.
Loved it. I fucking loved it. But all of them were great too. The one with Andrew Lincoln was a little too slow for my taste, but it hit at the end. I thought the emotional impact was pretty good. The one with the first one, the one with the Lot 36, that one was also good. The autopsy one was good. I mean, they were all really fucking good. So that was my favorite show of the year, and that's a show that's a good pick. Visiting. It's like you got 8 little mini movies in like one season, which was great. Right? And they had some great production values, great filmmakers. I'm just it just sucked that Guillermo del Toro didn't direct one. I mean, because he was the host, but
he's pretty busy, right?
I think he's directing one the second season.
Well, hopefully, man. But it was a lot better than fucking Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone. I'll tell you that. I mean,
that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, he needs to stick to movies.
That's why earlier when you guys were saying that Jordan Peele was going to be the producer of something, I'm like, I'm not gonna fall for this con anymore. Let me tell you, every time yes, Sam Raimi did it with Ghost House Productions, right? A lot of those fucking films are shit. James Wan does it, and now we have Jordan Peele doing it. I don't mean shit. If they're not at the helm, I'm not gonna go all in until I see what's going on. It's not gonna be like an automatic I'm in. But anyway, so that was my favorite show of the year. So I guess now we could go to my bottom 10, but I have some honorable mentions here. The first one is Moonfall. Moonfall was a big sack of shit. Did you guys ever catch that one?
Yeah, that's way
I did see Moonfall.
I didn't.
That was like early last year, right?
Yes.
Felt like it.
Yeah, okay.
What's the name of that director?
Roland Emmerich.
Roland. Okay, so Roland Emmerich does a lot of like So Bad They're Good movies, right? They're charming. Right. I mean, when he did Midway, he hired like a European to play a guy from New Jersey, and the accent kept on coming in and out throughout the entire movie, which is fine. That's the charm of his movies.
Okay.
This movie had no redeeming value whatsoever. It was just boring, long.
Oh man.
The effects were a little shoddy. I don't know, man. It should have been one of those like Tubi originals or some shit.
Oh, ouch. Well, they did have an asylum version of it. Remember?
It seemed like an asylum version of Roland Emmerich's movie.
Was it? Maybe y'all saw the moon. Are you sure y'all didn't see Moon Crash? That was the asylum version.
Well, I saw it at the theater, so I don't think I went in there by mistake.
Probably wouldn't have been there.
Then the other honorable mention is Dashcam. That's the most annoying fucking character.
I enjoyed hating her.
Huh?
I enjoyed hating her.
No, fuck that movie. And then again, the aforementioned Dr. Harrigan's Phone or whatever the fuck it's called. Look, I got so bored watching this fucking movie that I started timing. I wanted to see.
You started watching your bar of soap, huh?
No, I started to see, is Donald Sutherland ever gonna get out of this chair? Because I want to see if this motherfucker got a payday just to be dragged in there, sit down, and never get back up. And you know what? I don't think he ever got out of that chair.
He sits in that chair so long you can actually watch him get older.
That was it. He got paid to just come and sit on the chair.
The other kid got paid to come fucking read him stories. That's your movie.
Yes, and that's a little creepy in the age that we live in nowadays. And here's a surprising one for you all. I know that I'm gonna lang slang for it right here.
Uh-oh.
I was a little disappointed with Hellraiser remake, the new one that came out.
Oh, you and Naz both, man.
Yeah.
It was on his list.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I feel like with the internet and their concrete way of thinking, there's certain movies that are protected to fail, right? There's certain movies that the internet will not allow to fail. And that's just that. You know, they'll start word of mouthing it early on and this and that. And if you fail, you don't get movie. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't get movie.
Right,
You don't understand
right.
or whatever. I think this is one of those movies. I think everybody kept on saying this is the spirit of what it should be. This is the Barker spirit, Clive Barker wrote, and it's like I don't see.
Even Barker wrote a review before it came out.
Yeah, but they all do that. They're a con men, you know. How many times has James Cameron told us this is the best Terminator he's ever seen? I think he's done it like 5 times. They all do that. So no, I mean, I like the stand-up fights. Got no problem with that. I mean, every time you hear about this story, you always hear about how kinky it is, right? And not one of these fucking movies has ever given us that. Not even this one. The fucking the box was kind of weird. It was more like a blade. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. It was like 30 minutes too long. I don't know. It was just, to me, it was like, hey, fuck it. There's here like they've all done. Here's the script of an unrelated movie. Let's throw the Hellraiser thing on there and let's make this movie. I know that's not what happened here, but I'm getting that vibe. So anyways, that was my honorable mentions, letdown movies. But I will say that I don't think there was anything embarrassing as we've seen in the previous year. So all in all, it was a good year for horror movies. Okay. So let me talk a little bit about my bottom 10. So the first one is Mind Cage. Did any of you guys catch Mind Cage with Martin Lawrence trying to be serious?
No. Have you seen it?
I've seen the poster,
no,
but
this is one of those Saw. This is like one of those Saw-like kind of films, but it has like the supernatural ending that's gotta be. You gotta see it to believe it, and then you gotta say, "What the fuck did I just watch?" So Mind Cage. And just, you know, you can't see Martin Lawrence be serious. I'm sorry, you can't. You know, I mean, and he's trying to like you know, he's hamming it up with his dramatic elements right here.
This looks bad, and John Malkovich looks terrible.
Yeah, well, he plays a quote unquote villain, you know. So, but take that for what it's worth.
The Art of the Kill is on the poster. It says The Art of the Kill.
Yes.
Wow, that was really original, wasn't it?
Then we have The Friendship Game. Now, this is one of the trailers that I saw last time I was on with you guys, with the chick from Cobra Kai. Another one, like, generic fucking movie, like no heart, no soul, just by the numbers. They find this fucking weird ass game. They play it, and then they're all going down. That's how many times have we seen that?
Yeah, a lot.
And then it's up to this Cobra Kai chick to figure it all out. And of course, in the end, she does, and happily ever after. Same shit.
She used karate.
No, she didn't.
Oh, okay.
Paint by numbers movie.
Yes, but she has very her face is, I don't want to say it like this because this is not what I mean, but it can come off as a bit disturbing in an unusual way. She's got a very rememberable face. I guess.
Wait a minute. Is this the one that plays the daughter of the Karate Kid?
No, her rival.
Her rival, yeah.
Peyton List?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think she used to be on a Disney show.
She's got a very memorable face. Let's just put it that way.
She's an odd-shaped head.
Okay.
There you go. See, Brian just took it. He articulated it way better than ever. Odd-shaped head. Thank you. And then her eyes are a little too spaced out for, you know, my liking. But that's just me.
Yeah. I'm looking at her now. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Another one
like,
is
if we found out that she was part alien, it wouldn't be that surprising.
Oh no.
Numbers. Let me see. 10, 8. Number 7 would be VHS 99. I was here reviewing it with you guys.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't that great. Yeah, it wasn't that great. The first story
was kind of that. The only story we really liked was when those sorority sisters make that other chick dig herself into the grave and they forget about her. That was the only one that we really truly liked. Oh no, and the game show one. That one was kind of cool. That was a good segment.
That one was the only one I kind of enjoyed.
Yeah. I think that's why they're bringing in the heavy hitters to direct the segments for the next one, because this one fell short.
They probably saved all their money for that because there wasn't a lot of money for this one. Number 10, 9, number 7 would be Thor. So I think Philip had it on his list.
That's been on a couple of
Thor: Love and Thunder. I mean, this is what happens when you give somebody the reins and there's nobody to reel them back. That's exactly what happens in this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, Taika Waititi. They give him a little too much power, right?
Sure. The Rob Zombie trap.
Yes, yeah, or the George Lucas prequel trap, as I call it too.
Okay, gotcha. That's a good one.
This is when they're making their movie and there's a bunch of yes men's attached to their ass, you know, and that's all, and the entire nobody sees the fucking no. I should correct myself. Everybody sees the train going off the rails, but nobody has the heart to say anything,
no.
And they just all go down with it, bullet train style.
Gotcha.
So that yeah, I mean I don't know what happened here, but everything there's not very many things that went right in this movie. Christian Bale gets completely wasted, right, as a performer, as an actor, and he came out of there saying, "I'm never gonna do this shit again." He's gone on record as saying that because he didn't feel comfortable doing that whole green screen. You know how Marvel has their weird way of they have this factory where they make color movies where you walk in there and it's a bunch of green screens and shit. Well, Christian Bale didn't like that shit. He's like, "I'm not gonna do this shit anymore." Again, I think Thor got very damaged as a character. The tone was fucking weird. How the fuck do you waste the Guardians? The Guardians, you have them for 5 minutes. I don't even think that. Do they even have a line in the movie? I don't think Quill talks once. They're just in the background shooting guns. What a
was
waste.
it kind of like that last scene in the John Cena show we were just talking about, where you could kind of see the backs of everyone. Yeah, Peacemaker.
Oh, where they just kind of
was it that bad?
When they were just standing
you could see them. That's the problem.
Yes.
You could see them here. That's the problem. And then you have Groot. He's like on steroids all of a sudden, which is fine because that's gonna pay off in the next one. But what a waste. I mean the whole thing with the Russell Crowe, that was a cute bit, but it buried the entire gods. Like, so you're telling me that now, whenever the gods have to be serious, or whenever they're central to the plot in a tone that's more dramatic, what are we're gonna have to go back to this movie? It's like, look, they're all clowns. It's a big clown show, right? And it's like, come on,
It's a good point.
The little kids having power all of a sudden, becoming mini gods for like the third act of the movie was fucking weird.
Yeah,
there was this very
Shazam?
now here I don't mind it because I'm a big GNR fan. But there was a very unhealthy obsession with Guns N' Roses in this fucking movie because I don't know how much Taika Waititi paid Axl Rose, but I know it was a shitload of money because the entire soundtrack is Guns N' Roses pretty much.
Okay.
That Disney money.
Oh well, fuck it. I mean, that's what happens when you have yes men around you. And here's the thing about that movie before I move on. So they talk shit about that movie, right? Because it really wasn't that good. And Taika Waititi threw a fit. And he bolted, he bounced. He's not coming back. He's like, okay, well, I'm gone.
That's probably fine, right?
You know, the thing that pissed me off is that he shot a scene with the Grand Master, Jeff Goldblum, right? There's a scene that exists. And he was so petty. He was so petty about the reception of this movie that he's like, no, if it's not in the movie, it shouldn't be. It doesn't complete the story. So I'm not even going to put it as the extra of the Blu-ray. So it exists, but it's not available.
That's wrong.
I think there was also another scene with Peter Dinklage too. So there's two scenes that are, and what the fuck? That could have made it for a better movie. So anyway, so that's then we have the Munsters. That's another fucking piece of shit.
There you go, Brian.
Now that's another one where you have to tread lightly in the world of the internet, right? Because there's a lot of Rob Zombie aficionados.
Sure.
That they're what I like to call the Phantom Menace syndrome, where they'll watch a movie, they know it's shit, but their brain will not allow themselves to register as shit.
Yeah.
So they justify it, right? Cognitive dissonance is what we call it in our world.
The mind virus.
Yes. So this movie was, I don't even know what to make of it because what were you wanted to accomplish with this? Who are you trying to serve with this movie? You were not going to serve exactly. You were not going to serve the fans of the original show because this is not what it was, and you were not going to serve the fans of Rob Zombie because that's not what it was either. And it was one of those movies that just went on forever. Like I think I saw like 40 minutes of it, and I thought it was like a 3-hour movie, man. I was like,
it was pretty long.
Am I watching Avatar again? What's going on here? So yeah, no, that movie fucking sucked, man.
You know what he should have did? He should have took money out of his own pocket and paid for his own production of a short film version instead of getting all the rights and spending what was it, like $40 million or $50 million to make this shit.
This movie didn't cost that much. It
I'm
looked like it was
almost
made in his
positive.
garage.
So it's his fault that I can't share my account with my friends anymore. That motherfucker.
Oh no.
That's
Damn
a
it.
flop.
That's not good. That's not good.
The next one would be Firestarter. This movie was bored me to
that's
tears, man.
well deserved.
This fucking movie was boring and it was heartless.
Yeah.
There was a scene. There's a character here that I don't think is in the original. The big. He's like a Native American guy, right? And he also has
from,
that power.
Blood Quantum, that guy.
Yeah, he also has that power. And there's and the lady that wants to kind of get the little girl, she goes up to him and she tells him, and he's retired. He don't want to ever do this shit no more.
Right.
And he's and then but he's doing that thing where, like, I guess in his brain he wants to be a killer and he's trying to. So anyways, she blackmails him into going after this little girl without anything. There is no leverage. There's nothing in the scene where, like, she's like, you're gonna do it or else. And that's the
or else.
And this guy's like, oh, Chucks, all right. And he's always, the entire movie, he's against his will, but there's no leverage there to keep him going forward. Right. And it fucking pissed me the fuck off because, like, dude.
Makes no sense. Yeah. Makes no sense.
Yeah. So anyway, that fuck Firestarter.
Real quick, Lance. The movie's budget was rumored to be $40 million, but Rob Zombie said that was untrue, but the budget is undisclosed.
Wow.
So it was 60 million then.
Yikes.
Either way, it didn't work.
Yeah.
So the next one we got Jeepers Creepers Reborn. You guys said everything there needs to be.
That's on a lot of lists.
What a shitty fucking movie, man. How do you get
they use Marvel's green screen room for that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they forgot to shoot up the green screen. That's the problem. The beginning of this movie it's about a good 15-minute sequence, and it leads to nothing for the rest of the movie. Like, what the fuck?
Oh man. Also,
that's such an iconic character. I know there's history with the director and he's a pedophile and shit like that. But the actual character, that's a pretty popular character, right? So for him to get bastardized in a film like this was really tragic. Then I got three more. Then it would be Pray for the Devil, which I think was another one of Philip's picks last week. That was just boring, man. It was just so uninspired.
Yeah.
And the thing about me is that I got the AMC Stubbs car shit and I gotta use it.
I do too.
So I go to these fucking movies, even though I don't want to. Let's be real about it. But I shouldn't really be thinking like that because that defeats the purpose. But sometimes I do it. So this is one of those movies. And then, there's the Blonde Nun, which I don't even think that was possible, but for whatever reason there is.
Her hair was clearly dyed blonde. I didn't know nuns were allowed to do that.
But she's like, she gets approval to do like these exorcisms and all kinds of weird shit. But at the end, it leads to nothing because the third act is so boring and uninspired. Because the thing is that you have two acts to help us connect to these characters, and they failed. So all you're doing up to a certain point is waiting for this fucking movie to end. And when it does, you just feel like you just wasted your time. So Pray for the Devil was my next one. Then these next two were, it's number 2, and then it's like a big old space, and then my worst fucking movie. So, so number 2 would be They Them. That's my number 2.
Yeah, that was
another very uninspired movie. I don't like the fact that this was promoted as a lot of things, and none of them came true. One of them was this awesome, just fun slasher movie, and really, what it was like a public announcement. We'll just say that, and also it was a drama, really, with like sprinkles of like kills here and there. Kevin Bacon, he was looking to buy in that new house of his with that money. He didn't give a fuck. He was just kind of like, let me cash out here.
The one that's bigger on the inside when you measure it than the outside.
Yeah, the loaded weapon one was Emilio Estevez with the little RV
Emilio.
Camper. And my number 1. Now, this movie is gonna go down. This is Black Christmas level hate at this point. I'm talking about Halloween Ends.
Oh,
like And you know what? I unloaded my gun with it. There's nothing.
Yes.
You know what? I don't have it in me anymore. I'll be honest.
Yes.
I don't have it in
Okay.
me. Um, all the all the justification for this movie, all the praise, it's all denial. I haven't heard one person come at me with a legitimate reason why this movie's any good, other than just being in denial. The poor defense of it's you know what bothers me about some of these internet feedback is it tries something different. When they're trying something different, correlate with
Did
it
it
being
though?
good. Like that, there's this idea now that you think outside the box. That means we have to respect that. No, we don't. If it sucks, it fucking sucks. And Halloween Ends fucking sucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's one of the biggest praises this movie gets. It tries something good. That's fine, but don't promote it as a trilogy that's gonna make sense when you watch it back to back to back. Because that's not what this is.
Not
This
at all. Not at all.
this is these motherfuckers having free reign. And David Gordon Green has gone on
man
record.
around.
David
It
Gordon
definitely
Green,
seemed like not a Halloween movie that got slapped with a Halloween label.
yeah, is this Hellraiser or what the fuck? I mean, yeah, you're right.
Oh.
And then there's like not only that, so that's one issue, right? Then we have issues with like not even following your own rules. Like, how is
Okay.
it that this motherfucker withstood a whole town whooping his ass, and then this fucking nerd, whatever, Richie Cunningham or whatever the fuck his name was, he fucking takes him down, like, you know, and takes his mask off. I know he's all
Right.
beat up and shit, but you know, come on, it's Michael Myers here.
Yeah, that's not
So that-
acceptable, man.
So there was things that happened to serve the plot, and I hate when they do that. It's like fucking follow your own rules if you're gonna establish them, you know.
Mhm.
That ending's fucking stupid. You build up this Richie Cunningham guy for fucking weeks or a whole fucking movie, and then all of a sudden he gets one in the neck and he's done. No, he gets
Yeah.
stomped on too. I forgot. He gets a boot to the head as well. You know what was fucked up though?
What's
It's
that?
like Devin Gordon Green's like, you know what? I fucked up this franchise, but if I can't have it, no one can, because he fucking kills.
No.
He kills Michael Myers. Like, there's no way to bring this motherfucker
Well,
back
that's
unless
true.
you're gonna start over again, which I'm
Yeah.
sure they probably will.
I hope
But
so.
I don't know. This was resurrection level bad,
Wow.
man.
It
you
was
know?
pretty bad. I agree, man. That was my worst as well, as you know.
And so that was my bottom 10 of the year. Just fucking. I'll never watch any of these again. I
All
don't think.
right, let's cleanse our palate, man. Come on, you're killing it. You're bringing us down.
Okay. So really quick, I'm gonna go through my tops. Okay, honorable mentions. I got Old Man with Stephen
Okay.
Lang. I really love
Mhm.
that movie. I loved it. And it was, what is it? It's two actors in a little cabin or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That seemed like it was a difficult challenge, but they pulled it. I love Bullet Train. I thought that was such a great time at the movies. Again, the sadness got bumped, but it was hovering in my top 10 for a while. I really like Violent Night as well. Now I love Violent Night. Don't get me wrong, great movie. But did you guys feel that it never really took it to that third gear? Like, I felt like it was about to, then something would happen, and then it would pull back a little bit, and then it would start again. We never saw like that real true bonker scene that premise kind of calls for. We just never did. I mean, there's that whole chimney scene, which was pretty cool, but that was just one actor, John Leguizamo, who's getting all kinds of paydays, by the way. God bless him for that. I saw I really, now this is what might get me a little heat here, but that's fine. I like Bones and All. I really did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the
Yeah.
people that say, when people say nothing was happening, it's like, what do you mean? You could follow
Right.
the storyline of what's going on,
Yeah.
I thought they hit that whole young adult mix with a lot of gore and horror. I thought they hit it perfectly. Like the tone, it could have easily been really unbalanced, but the way that filmmaker did it, I thought it worked. And then of course there's that creepy guy. What's his name? The one that was stalking the protagonist.
Oh, Sully.
Yeah, Sully. That motherfucker was creepy.
Yeah, and I thought they kind of built up that kind of world up, the eaters
Yeah.
and the rules that they
I love
have.
that. Yeah. The smell, you could sense them, like, Run Sweetheart Run was another one that I really enjoyed.
Yep.
For the premise
Good one.
being so simple, I thought it
Mhm.
was a great little story, and it was, beginning to end, it was very entertaining. And then Deathstream, of course, you guys talked about it last week. I really like Deathstream a lot. Deathstream and The Sadness both kind of remind me of like a Sam Raimi kind of early Peter Jackson vibe, you know.
Oh
And
yeah,
I love both.
I
of
like
them.
it. I like it.
A movie that I saw that I don't know if you guys have seen is The Leech. Did you guys get to see The Leech?
I saw
Lance
the
did.
Leech. Yeah, with the priest
Yes.
that's oh son, you can come stay at my home. the Lord rewards those who help others out.
Lance,
Lord
what
didn't
did you think
reward
of
him
it?
very well, did he?
No.
I liked it, man. I loved it. I liked the way that it was that slow. It was kind of like that slow burn where the guy he gets away with this, so now he pushes to this, and then he gets away with, and then all of a sudden his chick shows up, and then now they're both pushing him, and then like the turnaround at the end, was like what was gonna. I don't want to give anything away because it's a pretty new movie, but
Yeah.
like that point at the end, I was kind of like on the fence: is he gonna do it or is he not gonna do it? You know, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
and
it.
the whole gaslighting aspect of it, and him fighting with his own religion.
Sure,
and belief.
sure.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yes.
That's like the whole Jeremy Gardner, and because they always that bunch of that crew always they always do a bunch of movies together, right? So they have a bunch of movies out,
Oh, yeah.
and they're always pretty good. Okay, so I think that's it for my honorable mentions. Now, okay, no, I got one more, and this was hard to take out, but
the black phone.
no. That's a little higher on my list.
Okay.
My number 10, I had to choose between two movies, and it was hard. But I'm gonna do it right here, live on the air. I had to choose either Nope or Barbarian, and I'm gonna go with Nope.
Oh, that far down? Oh,
yes, both because both of them, I have issues with both of them. But
Keke
Nope,
Palmer.
Fair enough.
yes, Keke Palmer's one
Stop
of the issues. So my issue with Barbarian is that it was a great film, right? But a lot of it is so much. Is this gonna become like the modern, like the Sixth Sense, like because I don't know if the impact is gonna be as felt in repeated viewings, right?
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
When
Yeah.
I saw this opening weekend, and I was like, "Holy!" I didn't even.
Right.
Yeah, Justin Long's in it for the people that never seen it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in it, and that in itself like popped me when I saw that because I'm a huge fan.
It got me too. It got me too. Yeah.
Because whenever he's in one of these movies, he's gonna bite it. I don't think he's ever come out of any of these movies alive. And so once he's in it, that's cool, right? And then you're a lot of the hype behind this film is the storyline and what drives it. And once you see it once, I don't know how much the impact's gonna be there, right? Although the third act it is filled with a lot of like high tension moments that give you some repeat value.
But now we know how they're going to end out though. So
yes,
so
that could hurt.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the backstory? Did you guys think it revealed too much with Richard Blake?
I liked it.
I don't think it revealed enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was kind of creepy.
I'd like to see that movie. I'd like to see that movie.
Yeah. I do like that shot where he's going into his car with the trunk, and then it comes back, and it's like it goes from the old neighborhood to like back in the day. That was pretty cool. So my number 10 is Nope, right? Now I have issues with this movie too. I think the third act's a little like I'm not really convinced, but it was still
Okay.
I like the message of it. I like the acting. I like the first act is like all fucking Tarantino-ish dialogue, which I thought was cool. It's just kind of introducing you to the characters, and it's like what distinguishes great writing from poor writing is like you're getting to really get to know the characters and you're relating to them, and it's like you're kind of watching, you're kind of kicking back with them, which is great. So I thought the middle part where they're trying to get the alien so that they could take a film of him and then like sell it and become famous, I thought that was also really good. That's really where the meat of the action comes in. I thought Michael Wincott getting a payday was awesome because I'm a huge fan of The Crow, so hence my name Draven. So seeing him come up with his raspy voice is always a plus in my book. So Nope is my number 10. Jordan Peele did another great job. I don't think he's ever done a bad movie. A little overhyped maybe, but he's never done a bad movie. My number 9 is Prey. Bringing the Predator back to where it fucking belongs. Bringing him back.
Okay, it's a good one.
Going back to the fundamentals. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just the way they build the action scenes. They did have some fan service shit with like the whole what is it, if it bleeds we could kill it line or something like that. And they had the gun, which I don't know. I think when you see that gun, I imagine that they're not those people. Other predators came back and took them out to get their gun back. I don't know what happened there, but something happened. So Prey was pretty awesome. Then we have X. I love X. I thought that movie was like old school Grindhouse from the 70s. You know, just everybody always says, I want to make a movie like Grindhousey from the 70s. Fucking Ty West did it. Just that nothing really happens. You get to know the characters, but there's that sense of dread around the entire movie. You know what I'm saying? And just how the kills start kind of escalating as the movie goes along, and also how Pearl kind of starts to just, you know, show her true colors as the movie goes along, and so many unanswered questions too, which I like. That's what those Grindhouse movies were, because back in the day, it wasn't like the filmmakers had this big plan. They just didn't have any money. So it was all very basic. And so you were left with all these questions like, what the fuck? What was the motivation behind that? So that was my number 8. My number 7 was The Black Phone.
There you go.
All right, now tell Lance why he's wrong.
There's a lot of reasons why he's wrong. So no, I thought this movie was
All right,
very
go for
original.
it, man. I'm listening.
I mean, I'm not gonna try to change your mind, Lance. You've already made up your mind.
Okay.
But
You're not going to tell me to step back, wind up, make a pitch, hit the bad guy, and run out the door?
Well, we've done that many times, and it does nothing.
Okay.
You're like Luke Skywalker at fucking, what was it, in the Last Jedi, where we fucking blast you with everything we have, and then you just dust off your shoulder, you know. So, no, but I thought this movie was very original. I mean, what isn't there to like about this movie? It's like it's got that Amblin Entertainment vibe to it. You know, it's got fucking Ethan Hawke being creepy as fuck. You know, this man has no ego whatsoever, because he was like, I'm going to make an entire movie and you're not going to see my face. But with his body, he's doing all that performance. I don't know about the brother, though. That storyline kind of... how is it that this guy did all that shit and the fucking brother is like, he doesn't know what the fuck is going on? I know he was high on fucking cocaine half the time.
I was about to say cocaine's a hell of a
That's
drug.
right. Hell of a drug.
Now, there is a part of this movie that really pissed me off for the wrong reasons. I was having a great time with this movie. There's certain movies where I'm just captivated, right? Because it's so original, and I'm really into the world that they're in. But when the kid breaks out, when Ethan Hawke is asleep, like the time doesn't match. Like it takes forever to get out of your fucking house, get in the van, start the truck, and fucking take off. But the way the kid ran out, all that shit happens, and the kid's only like fucking, he barely passed the yard. He's barely passed the fucking front of the house. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here with this shit, you know? And so that almost lost me. That rocked me a little bit, but I came back. They got me back, though. I love how all the kids, like, the way they used the kids, right? The way the kids were guiding him through the phone. There's a lot to be said on, like, there's metaphors here. I love how, like, in a way, how tragic the Ethan Hawke character, he never gets the name, right? What is he, like, the trapper or the whatever?
The grabber.
The grabber.
Yeah, they never, so he goes unexplored again. That's the kind of shit that I like. What's wrong with this guy? Why is he so, how has he been living like this for years? Because this motherfucker has money. He's got 2 properties. You know what I'm saying? So we know he's got money. And so, no, I really fucking love this movie.
And his brother buys a shitload of cocaine. They got money.
Maybe they were selling dope the entire time.
Probably. Yeah, probably. That's the backstory.
And then I really would love to see, like, just how, like, an entire story of, like, that fucking creepy van that he drove around, like, just, you know, somebody being stalked by that van. That was also creepy, and that's really not part of the movie. But you know, I wish we would have seen more of that. But no, the Black Phone was awesome, man, and you could watch it over and over again. And I felt like other than when he fucking ran out and, you know, ran 3 steps while this motherfucker got in the van and you know, all that shit, found the keys and threw on some shoes and shit.
Right.
That's why the kid was a pitcher, not an outfielder. He didn't have that speed.
But he didn't have no speed whatsoever, man. What about if Ethan Hawke would have tripped? What about if the fucking brother would have been so high he lost the keys to the van? Was he just gonna come out like that with shirtless? With a fucking mask on. And I like how the neighbors didn't know shit either. And this has been going on for like at least a year, right?
2 different houses.
And I thought that one dude, the guy from Lost, what's his name? The one that was the dad, he had a mullet in this movie.
I can't think of
Saving
his name.
Private Ryan guy, the coward in Saving Private Ryan.
Mm.
He did great as the dad. And then I thought the little girl was phenomenal. Her acting was great. I mean, all these fucking things. I like how all the kids had their own little character to them. Like, it wasn't just these throwaway, like, two-dimensional characters. Like, for the little time they were on screen during the flashbacks where we got to see them alive, like, they had characters to them. You had that guy that liked to fight. You had that smart kid. I mean, they all had something about them that when you put it together helped kill fucking Ethan Hawke's character, which was awesome. See, there's payoffs here, Lance. What the fuck's your problem?
Okay. All right. What's your next one?
All right. Where the fuck are we at? Oh, yeah. My next one is Smile. I like Smile a lot.
Nice. All right.
I don't
Good
think
one. We all agree. We're all in agreement again. We're all smiling again.
Now, was it in any of all of your all top? I don't remember. Maybe I was,
It was
Anyway.
in mine.
Okay.
I don't think I put it in
Yes.
mine, but it was a good movie.
It's in my top 5.
The only thing to me, as being a snob of all this bullshit, that frustrated me from time to time was that it did rely on the false scares way too much.
Little jump scare, huh?
The little jump scares that were not earned.
Yeah.
I
Right,
think
right.
Like half of the movie is that, right? And then, but
Dream sequence stuff.
yeah, that shit gets annoying after a while.
Right.
But I love the mythology. I think this has sequel potential written all over. I love it's one of those movies that the curse kind of follows you. You know, we've seen that done before, right? The person that grabs it or sees something, they have to now deal with all this shit and they have to pass it on to the next person, et cetera, et cetera. We've seen that. I love the ending. I love the struggle of the lead character because she was going through some psychological issues herself. So I love all this shit. You know, it was one of those played out metaphors for grief, right? The grieving thing, which I think is getting played out, by the way, in Hollywood. We've seen a lot of that fucking grieving shit already. It was cool in the beginning, but now it's getting played out. So that was Smile. Okay. Then we have, now this movie was fucking awesome. I've only seen it once. I want to see it again. The Menu. I love this fucking movie.
All right, good one.
It's on HBO Max now.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out again. I love the metaphor of this movie. You know, because at the end of the day, you could come at me with all that bougie shit, but I just want a fucking cheeseburger, man. That's all I really want.
Sure.
I love the motivation of the lead of the, I guess you would say the lead bad guy. How you lose all your passion because everything around you just gets so fake, right? And everything there's no purity there anymore. So I loved all that. I love how we're revealing things little by little. John Leguizamo's also in this one. And so
he is.
There's a lot of tension in this movie, which is good. So if people haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max. Check it out. Then this one was just fun. I had a fucking great time. Bodies. I fucking love this movie, man. Especially when we get the reveal. Now, I know there's a lot of people that have said, oh, I knew the reveal.
Don't say.
Who hasn't seen it?
Okay.
I've seen
Brian,
it.
have you seen it? Philip?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's been off
okay.
for,
Well,
Audience.
it's been off for a while.
We'll do a
Spoilers.
minor spoiler alert.
Yeah, no, I didn't say anything though. But yeah, no, I thought all the, it played against, it subverted your expectations. You know, you're thinking, oh, this person's doing it. Just the way it kept you guessing, and it was like an old school slasher film. You know, this was a great fucking movie, and I think it was somewhat original. You know, I mean, it's hard to be original with that concept.
Very true.
And somehow they found a way to do it, because it all came down to one dude just fucking up, and that started the entire shit.
It was a great reveal.
Yeah. Then we had one that I don't think you guys ever saw, The Retaliators. You guys never saw that one, huh?
Never saw it.
Let
me look it up right now. You go ahead.
Yeah, it's again, it's kind of reminiscent of like, Big Bad Wolf from years ago, where
Yes, okay.
Somebody is going after what they perceive to be the killer of one of their loved ones. And this movie is so bonkers that that's all I could say, because it just takes all these fucking weird ass turns. And
I never even heard of this one, dude.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be streaming soon.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of mixture of genres. You have like fucking drama there. You have like zombie horror later on. You have all kinds of shit, and it was just fun and original. So that's the one that I'm gonna put at my number 3. Now my number 2.
I'm gonna watch this week if I can find it. Right, I'll just rent it.
Yeah, it deserves it. Now, number 2 is that little engine that Cinderella story known as Terrifier 2. I fucking love this movie, man.
That was on your list, Brian.
Yes.
Yep.
I saw it opening day at the theater, and you see that runtime, and it scares you a little bit, don't it? Like you see it, like, come on, there's no fucking way that a movie at this level, with this kind of themes and concepts, requires 2.5-hour runtime. There's no way. So it's gonna be pretentious. It's gonna fucking get weird when you're seeing it with people that are expecting an hour and a half fucking slasher movie. But no, we sat down, packed house, and everybody had a good time, and those 2.5 hours fucking ran fast. I mean, I think the third act, I think it has one of those like continuing. Some movies fall into that trap where they kill the monster like 30 times before the movie ends.
Oh yeah,
I think this movie kind of falls into that trap a little bit. But besides that, I mean, it's just a great movie. Introducing a new kind of like a new icon, right? A new monster that I think we needed. I think M3gan and Art the Clown are the two big revelations of the last 6-7 months, where people are going to be able to monetize them now, unfortunately, or fortunately for us. But when we're in part 7 of either of these movies, get back to me and see where we're at.
All right.
And so that was my number 2, and then my number 1. And this is just a fucking great movie all throughout. I was watching it and my jaw was dropping the whole time for different reasons. Pearl. I fucking love Pearl. And maybe it's cool. And maybe it resonated with me because this is my, I'm a therapist. That's what I do for a living. So I see a lot of people with behavior problems. I see a lot of females with behavior problems. And the details from the escalation of mood to the justification to the internal dialogue, I was like, holy shit, like this is all spot on shit, right? Like just and so maybe I'm biased in that sense, but I thought this was a great fucking movie, and I thought the way it was shot, and to me, I'm thinking, dude, Ty West shot this in his spare time because he had the crew there from X, and I'm like, this was a masterpiece, dude. Like and the fact that it was the same like ranch, the same little location. There was metaphors up the ass there with the fucking rotting pig in the doorstep. Like this was a great fucking movie, man. And I think this is in my top 10 just movies in general, not just horror movies. This is a really good fucking
nice. Okay.
And then Mia Goth's performance, like, it sucks that she's in the horror genre and they tend to go unrecognized, but it was still a fucking performance.
Right.
I love that ending where she's just kind of looking at the camera and like faking that smile and very evilish. So I'm write me down for Maxine because I'll be there opening weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
right.
it. Those are my top 10.
Some good ones, man. And the black phone.
Movie's fantastic. It's on Amazon Prime, Lance, if you want to watch it again.
All right. I'll check it out again. In the meantime, I'm going to check out The Retaliators for
Lance,
sure.
Yeah,
that sounds like a lot of fun.
I thought you said you tried to check it out twice, right? Didn't you give the black phone?
Yeah, I did. I tried to find time to watch the black phone again. So I'll give you guys my word that I'll watch it again. Absolutely. Especially if it's on Prime. Why not?
This year?
Probably. So, Brian, are there any headlines this week?
We got some headlines since we haven't done this in, I don't know, about a month.
Yeah, there's a lot. We have holidays.
We will start with, this was a no-brainer. Actually, it wasn't a no-brainer because last week there was a little rights issue with the Wednesday show. There was rumors that it was gonna go back to Amazon. Or second season was going to go to Amazon because Amazon bought MGM and they own the rights to the Addams Family. Apparently, they must have settled some kind of dispute because Netflix officially announced Wednesday season 2.
Okay.
Let's see. Tim Blake Nelson joins the cast of Doom Part 2 in an undisclosed role, which is interesting because they've already started production.
Okay.
I was gonna say, aren't they shouldn't they be done with that by now?
Yeah, I think they're almost done.
He's also coming back to the MCU, right?
Yeah, as the leader.
Yeah. Like what is it? 15, 16 years, or almost 20 years after he originally started that character.
Yeah, from the Ed Norton Hulk movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. According to James Wan, the next Conjuring 4 movie might be the final one in the franchise, which is probably because he's no longer with Universal.
Okay.
That might be a good thing. They don't want to keep going on
Yeah,
that till it
yeah,
dies.
could be. Finish it up.
Yeah.
Lance, this is right up your alley. Darren Aronofsky is working on a Black Swan musical.
Like a Broadway
I'll-
musical or
I'll
like
be
put on
there.
film?
Broadway musical.
Oh, okay. That seems weird.
Pedro, we got to get tickets, man. If we can meet in Salem, we can meet in Manhattan. Come on.
I'm waiting for that Black
maybe,
Swan musical.
maybe we'll come. Maybe we'll meet up with Jason and the Scream Killer when we're in Manhattan, right?
Jason Blum says not to get your hopes high on Freaky Death Day happening anytime soon. There was a lot of rumors of a crossover movie.
Okay.
Both actresses wanted to do it, but he said don't get your hopes up anytime soon. But he said you never know. So
Okay. Are you referring to Vince Vaughn as an actress in this case?
I hope so.
no. Well,
Okay.
I was talking about the female actresses.
All right.
Vince Vaughn died, didn't he?
What?
No,
Spoiler.
like in the movie.
Oh shit. Okay. God damn it. Don't do that to me, dude. Don't do that to me. Jesus Christ.
Let's see.
Well, Pedro, we
Sorry,
know Michael's
guys.
gonna come back. Michael's gonna come back somehow. Am I right?
I don't know how after
Even after that beat grinder.
that atrocity.
It's a bunch of little mini Michaels, the pieces of him.
Yes. like the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the subspecies movies, they did that too.
Right? Oh no.
All right. Trying to make sure if there's anything else. The new movie 65. Have you guys seen that trailer with Kylo Ren?
No.
No.
It's kind of futuristic, kind of like
I heard
like they
about
go.
it.
They land on a planet. It's one of those movies where they're looking for another planet to live on, and he lands on the planet, and there's dinosaurs and shit. It kind of looks like maybe 65 million years ago we landed here, and something happened to where we were lost all technology.
Oh,
he's-
Philip, that's right
he's-
up your alley.
That is right up my alley.
Sounds interesting.
Well, it originally was supposed to come out later in March, but it changed its release date to March 17th. Check out the trailer, Phil.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the feel I get. that
Yeah, I saw
maybe-
a picture of it and read a little synopsis. It looks cool.
Yeah.
And I like Kylo Ren as an actor, man. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Uh,
he was good in that White
Frank-
Noise movie. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah. Frank Grillo could possibly return for the Purge 6.
Oh,
Hey, anytime he gets a payday, I'm on
put a
board.
fucking fork in it. Yeah, but put a fork in the Purge, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Go out with a
It's
bang.
like-
That last one kind of sucked.
Hey,
Jason Blum doesn't want to give us these crossovers, which would be original, but he gives us more Purge movies. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
hey.
Fede Alvarez's Alien film is set to begin filming in a couple months. Looks
Okay.
like.
But we don't know like where this fits in.
Allegedly.
No, it's supposed
Okay.
to be a original story. I don't think they're
Okay.
rehashing the
So,
Ellen
like,
Ripley
start
thing
overs
again.
kind of.
Yeah,
If they
I
go- if
don't
they-
know.
If
They-
they go
they-
the Predator route, they might be able to salvage it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see here. Do we got anything else? Showtime's already renewed Yellow Jackets for a third season before the second season even comes out.
I was gonna say the second season hasn't come out yet,
Starts. Wow. Okay.
But
That's
that kind of worries me more because they got to
Starts in
give us
March.
something in the second season, man. I mean,
Right.
that first season, I know it got
I
over
hope
and
so.
people were fucking losing their shit and all that, but they didn't give a shit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like from the pilot all the way to the last episode, like we didn't learn
Right.
anything. You know, it was so give us a little something for the second season.
That's
Even
true.
though
Fair
now I'm
enough.
concerned because now that they have
Yeah,
a third
fair
season,
enough.
they got to stretch
Right.
this shit out even more.
They
Right.
tried to lost us.
Chloe Akuno, who last did The Watcher, she is going to direct the next Fear Street movie for Netflix.
Okay. I like those movies.
Yeah.
Greg Nicotero, a lot of people, awesome effects guy. A lot of people recently know him from The Walking Dead. He wants to remake The Keep, Michael Mann's The Keep, but be more original to, I guess, the book.
All right. He's got 1,000 shows that he's supervising, but good luck to him.
A couple more things. James Wan wants to remake Chopping Mall and Night of the Creeps.
Oh, now that's a remake. That would work, right, Pedro?
That'd be fun.
I mean, with the technology today, I guess it could.
Right?
I mean,
Philip, what do you think? You down?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch anything that James Wan does. I even get duped into watching his produced bullshit most of the time.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm down if he's actually the one remaking them, not his company.
now,
Yes, we do.
kids don't go to the malls anymore, though. How are they going to work their way around that?
That's a good point.
That's true.
Maybe it'll be a throwback.
Right.
Did we lose Lance?
No, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, no,
And
I'm getting a slow speed, so I turned off the video for a minute.
Gotcha.
Okay. And lastly, the new Exorcist film had to stop production because of health reasons with main star Leslie Odom Jr.
And it was also because
Speed.
God went down and said, "Don't fuck this shit up."
I was going to say, it must be a curse.
From what I understand, it's not an illness to where they had to recast, but they just had to shut down production. So,
Okay.
and we last seen Leslie Odom Jr. in Glass Onion. He was the scientist. So
Great movie.
And I think that's it. We'll get new trailers for. We'll get a new trailer for Ari Aster's next film, Beau is Afraid, which was retitled from The Disappointment Boulevard. So,
right.
New trailer for that coming next week.
Okay. Check it out. But in the meantime, Pedro, you ready
to go to the trailer park?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Okay.
So we're gonna bring you the big, the small, and sometimes the very, very weird. And I saw all three of these in the movie theater this week, which is nice. So, what's the first new trailer, Brian?
The first one is a teaser, which just for future reference, I will not be watching anything after. No new. I was supposed to get a new trailer for this, a full trailer, but I'm not going to watch it. I think this was perfectly fine for what it was, and that it was the teaser for Scream 6. Quick synopsis: in the next installment, the survivors of the Ghostface killings leave Woodsboro behind to start a fresh chapter in New York City. It's pretty much the entire cast from the original. Well, the ones that lived are coming back, along with Courtney Cox. No Nev Campbell. Hayden Panettiere will be returning as Kirby. And our girl, Samara Weaving, will be making an appearance, along with Tony Revolor. I don't know how to say his last name.
Okay.
What is that? The asshole from the asshole from Spider-Man. Peter Parker's the guy that picks
I know who you're talking about. Flash.
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah, that guy.
He'll be a victim.
Dermot
He'll be
Mulroney.
the first victim. or Dylan McDermott. Which one?
Dermot Mulroney.
Can't tell the difference.
They're both struggling for payday, so either one would help.
Right.
This is of course directed by Radio Silence again. So
now let's be real here. Let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go on record right now.
Yeah, let's get real.
I'm gonna put it where it counts. I'm gonna go ahead and make a prediction right now that, and this is my wrestling mind going off right now, because in wrestling they do this all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and say right now that Nev Campbell will be in this movie, and the fucking theater is gonna explode when she
Yeah,
comes
she's
out.
the killer. She's the killer.
I don't know if she's gonna be the killer.
Oh no,
Brian, that's a bold statement.
I'm calling it right now.
Oh shit! Brian's
I'm
going out
with,
on a limb.
Wow. He's
I'm
probably
with
right.
you right now. I'm with you, Pedro. When she gets revealed in the movie, the theater's gonna explode, and then she's gonna do a heel turn
All right.
there.
Hey, I'll take it. At
Wow,
this
they're
point,
going
what else
full
could you give us,
wrestling.
right? At this point, what else could you give us?
Yeah. As long as they don't spend the first 2 acts on a boat and then finally go to land in Manhattan.
God damn it, you took that one from me.
And one more prediction. Sadly, I know we're all big fans of Samira. I wish we were big friends of Samira. We were big fans. But,
Friend of the show. Not yet.
I
We're
think
working on
she
it.
is going to be that one that gets killed in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't
Oh.
think she's got the mainstream appeal for that. They need somebody with a little more spunk
Okay.
for that role.
Maybe.
I mean, she's
yeah,
over
Flash.
with us.
Flash.
She's over with our community, but
I
Okay.
think the general public, when they see her, they'll be like, "Oh shit, it's
Yeah.
Margot Robbie."
That's a good one, Brian.
they could even bring that up in the movie since they're so meta anyway.
Right? Yeah, they should. They should.
All right, so there's a lot of predictions going on here. People went on a limb on this
All
show
right.
right here. So
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Brian's going all in with Nev Campbell being the killer. That's a little
I'm
too much.
going all in.
That's brave. That's brave.
Would not surprise me. You're
Bet in
probably
the house.
exactly right.
It wouldn't say Brian.
I mean, this is pretty much, from what I understand, they said this is going to be the most violent movie out of the franchise. They're upping the kills. I've seen some photos of Ghostface holding a shotgun. So I'm hoping we'll get a shotgun to the head, a nice head explosion, something like
You
that.
have to, right?
Call
You're
Tom
gonna hold the
Savini to come
shotgun.
and hook that up.
I the only thing I'm kind of wondering where they're going to go with is the whole the main girl, not Jenna Ortega, but what was her name?
Her sister.
Yeah, with
Jenna
the whole
Ortega's sister. Let's just call her that.
Melissa
I can't think of the actress's
Barrera.
name. Okay.
Yeah, the whole she still talks to her dead father that she's never met or
Oh
seen.
yeah.
And my daughter pointed out, if she's never met him, why does he look like the way
Why
he
does he
did
look
when he
just
died?
smart girl, smart kid.
So I'm just wondering where they're gonna go with that whole angle.
You know what? And they are so lucky. They could count their lucky stars on this one. They're so lucky that they didn't kill off Jenna Ortega because she's in the stratosphere now.
Yeah.
So had they killed her off from the last one,
Absolutely, yeah.
So now that's gonna help with the promotion of the movie because she's way over now, way more than she was a year ago.
That's true. Yeah, I like the whole subway scene killing thing. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if they play their cards right with Jenna Ortega, she could be the new final girl for the franchise for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, but keep in mind that payola is gonna have to get a little higher. You you're gonna have to add a couple more zeros on that paycheck. So maybe they have a problem with that.
Found the new it girl.
It's Paramount. They'll throw money at her. All right.
They wouldn't, but yeah, you're right. It's Paramount.
Yeah, Scream 6 in theaters March 10th.
All right. Back like the old school way where we're getting them once a year, like those Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13 movies.
Just like Santa Claus delivering once a year.
Once a year.
All right. Second trailer, Evil Dead Rise. We finally get the trailer. Quick synopsis: a twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the nightmarish version of family imaginable. Makes no sense. This stars Alicia Sutherland, Lily
Not
Sullivan.
Silverstone though, right? We don't need her.
No, Alicia Silverstone.
She's still floating on a cabin somewhere in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. Lily Sullivan, Morgan Davies, Neil Fisher, Jaden Daniels, and this is written and directed by Lee Cronin, who he did the hole in the ground.
Okay, that was a good one. That's a good movie. Have you seen that, Pedro?
Yeah, no, I liked it.
It's an Irish movie, right?
Mhm.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
all in. This is exactly what I want. I mean, I feel like you can continue to make these kind of movies. Just drop the Necronomicon in different scenarios and different locations, and just have a story like that, and just give me the gores, give me the just everything. And I sent you guys the Red Band trailer because you didn't get all the head scalping and the cheese grater. And Lee Cronin he's came out and said Lee Cronin came out and said that what you saw in the Red Band trailer was only 10% of what you're going to get in the movie. So
wow,
uncomfortable kills.
They used a lot of blood. They used a lot of blood in the filming of this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to top Fede Alvarez's version of this movie, but hey, we'll see what happens. I'm like you, Brian. I'm all in. I'm excited. This is probably my most anticipated movie of the year. Just the fact that the trailer's just really one scene, right? Where the mom's kind of breaking the eggs or whatever, and then they just kind of stretch it out. So I always like that because that tells me that the filmmakers, there's a lot they don't want you to see just yet. So the fact that they stretch out these scenes like that, there's a lot to come. And even in that scene, there's a lot of shit going on already. When I first heard the concept of this movie, I was thinking like Demons 2, right? Like Demons 2 takes place in a big skyscraper or like a big apartment complex. And I was all in then because I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. But now, I don't know, it seems like it's at a house, but there's other houses attached to it. So yeah, no, it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a great fucking time. So I'm gonna be there for sure. That's in April or March?
April.
April. Okay. Wonderful.
Yep. We're doing predictions tonight. We're gonna get a lot more Deadites throughout the movie because it's in an apartment complex.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's just set in this one apartment. I think they're gonna get out and run into other
Bruce
scenarios.
Bruce Campbell selling hot dogs.
Yeah, I mean, he said he's not in it. He's just an executive producer, but you never know with Bruce.
We know better.
Pop up anywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe a cameo at least.
Papa's Pizza Rolls or whatever it was.
I mean, if he does come out, I mean, the place is gonna explode. So it's gonna be
right.
And
especially if he's the killer, Pedro.
And I'm looking forward to the performance of the main actress, the one that's being possessed, because she's just fucking creepy throughout the trailer. The scene where she's just at the peephole and said, open up, and the daughter's like, you don't look so good, and she's like, ain't nothing but a kiss from you is gonna help. And then the scene at the end where she's like calling for her mom, and she's like, no, mommy's with the maggots now.
Maggots.
Yeah. Brian's all in on this one. Look at him.
I am
pretty rough.
So
this is probably my most anticipated too, man. I'm excited about this one. I'm big Evil Dead fan, so I'll take it.
And I can totally, because originally this was supposed to be an HBO Max movie, and then when they went into post production and they seen the movie, they were like, "No, we're putting this in theaters." I can see why.
That's what happened to Smile. That's what happened to Smile. That was going to be streaming originally, so
it's a good sign.
Promising.
Well, Jason Blum did say today on Twitter that movies are back, so because I guess Megan made a lot of money, so he's happy about that.
Good.
Yeah, they were sold out. A few showings that I was looking at.
Yeah, we were sold out too last night.
We just gotta keep, I know this is like an old man here talking, but we gotta get a handle on these run times, man. Because give me an hour 30, an hour 40, and I'm good. But none of this 2.5 hour shit. Unless it's like a fucking big event movie.
Good point.
Evil Dead Rise in theaters April 21st.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Gotta re-up my
They should
AMC
have
Stubs card for that.
Yeah, they should have adjusted it to found a way to adjust it to 420, but I guess technically if it says 421, you can go the night of 420, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't that how it
Very
works? Okay.
Yeah.
technically you can go any night when you're smoking, but all right. And the trailer I didn't think we were going to get this week, we got it, was Renfield, starring Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. Quick synopsis, very quick from IMDb. Dracula's henchman and inmate at the lunatic asylum. That makes no sense because that's not even what the trailer was. That is not even what the trailer was at all.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Maybe they changed some things up.
Is this an M. Night
man.
Shyamalan Ling Dong movie with a twist or what? What's going on here?
It sounds like it, doesn't it? Sounds
Yeah,
like
the twist is we get nothing we seen in the trailer.
Yeah. I think he
This
walked
also
into like an AA meeting or something.
It's all a dream, and he's just an inmate at the asylum. They already gave it away.
Right? Oh no.
people
missed.
of note that star in this, besides the two main actors, Awkwafina, Ben Schwartz,
So
and
That might
I
be
also
a
see,
reason to stay home for me with this Aquafina.
Uh-oh. Ouch.
I don't mind her.
couple
I think she's
of
funny.
people known in the horror community, William Ragsdale and Caroline Williams,
Oh,
also
wow.
star in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And this is directed by Chris McKay. Now, I was told, like I got inside knowledge. I read that this was supposed to be a comedic take on the whole Renfield Dracula relationship, and I think, for my part, I think they kind of nailed it in the trailer. I didn't know it was going to be more action heavy, which I'm fine with too. It's just a different take on the characters, and I'm all with it. And it's Nick Cage, and he has not let me down in the past few years, so I'm all in on this one.
And I'm very happy that he dug himself out of the VOD world that he was in, the VOD
Right.
house that a lot of these guys end up in. So he did it, little by little. He tricked his way out of there.
Yep.
And now he's back to getting some theatricals again. Good for him, man.
Indeed.
I don't know how much he's gonna be in this movie though, because from the trailer I get a vibe that
Sure.
it's gonna be what's the other, Nicholas Hoult is gonna be mostly from his perspective.
Yes.
And then maybe Nick Cage comes out in the maybe late second act, third act even. Because that trailer revealed a lot. Like when he's up there floating in the sky and shit in the air, and then I'm like, that's some third act shit right there, But yeah, it was very action heavy, which was interesting.
And from another thing I also read, the trailer, they said the trailer didn't really let us know, but the movie will be a little gory and violent as far as they can push it for the rating.
Okay.
Is it rated R or PG-13?
I don't know, but I'm gonna say PG-13.
Probably.
Okay.
Too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be rated R. Don't.
I'll be there. There's no doubt I'll be there to see it.
You had me at Nick Cage.
It says rated R. It says rated R on IMDb.
Okay.
Oh,
that's what it says on IMDb.
And that one's rated R as far as they can.
Yeah.
What was that?
So it seems like we're gonna get Scream, Evil Dead, and this one like back to back. So
yeah, this one
not
actually
bad.
comes
Not
out
bad.
April 14th, the week before Evil Dead Rise.
There it is.
All right.
Awesome.
Cool.
So
We'll have a lot to watch. Guys.
Well, and Nicholas Hoult is good too. I'm looking forward to him. But yeah, dude.
Yeah, he
Dracula.
he was great in the Menu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in that one that I was telling you about last week with Charlize Theron.
The dark.
Yeah, that was Dark Places or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, Dark Places. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's been a while since we were all in on every trailer.
Yeah, these were all great.
We all are. I think we all are.
And they're all theatricals too. Usually we get some VOD ones in there.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty of those too,
friendship
Pedro.
game.
We'll have plenty of those too, Pedro. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right. We'll roll into listener feedback. This week, the podcast spotlight shines on Never Split Up, horror movie podcast hosted by two lifelong friends, Nolan and Anthony. We focus our horror movies, but dive into all things related to the genre. Come out and join our growing community on Twitter at Never Split Up Pod. And Al Ramsour says the ending to the Al Patreon picks actually was perfect. I'm the head cook of the merchant ship I'm on. We're transporting jet fuel around military bases in the Mediterranean and Persian Gulf. Oh, that's awesome. Have you ever seen those big Ark or Wilhelmsen ships in downtown Galveston by the cruise ship terminal? Yeah, I'm sure I have. They unload cars and heavy machinery, and I work on those also. Thanks again, brothers.
I
Yeah.
can't see
cool.
it from here.
Now you know. Now you know. Now you know, Brian.
Yeah, I just making sure, if he didn't have a job we weren't supposed to be talking about.
Oh, I got you. Brian added a poll to the Facebook group. What 2023 movie releases are you looking forward to? And so far, Cocaine Bear and Evil Dead Rise are pitched in battle for the lead. But the poll just went up, so be sure to go get your votes in. That's a good question because I'm pretty excited about Cocaine Bear too.
Yeah, that's another one I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
first
mean,
half's gonna be good.
The only hesitation I have is Elizabeth Banks, but whatever. I'll watch it. Maybe she'll redeem herself after that last Charlie's Angels bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't really say anything about that. I've never seen the movie because I didn't want to.
Or any other? What about the Pitch Perfect movies?
I've never seen them.
I don't mind those. My wife is a big fan. Tim Davis says definitely Cocaine Bear. That shit looks hella good, as Nez always says. Zim Vader said he saw X. It's the only thing in 2023 that I'm looking forward to more than my stubby holder.
Did he get one?
I'm sure he has at this point. Also, Mark Reed added Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And Matt Wood added Hell House LLC Origins. That Winnie the Pooh one looks pretty badass. I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen in my theater. We're gonna get it for like one night next month, so I'm gonna try to go see it.
Which one? Oh, the Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie
the Pooh.
Yeah.
Blood and Honey.
And Hell House LLC Origins. That looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing about that is that I feel like they've always tried to recreate the magic of the first one. The first house is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Whenever I try to point people in the direction of like found footage shit, I always pick that one. There's a couple of them, but that one in particular. Then the sequels are not as good, and they keep on getting less good as they keep on doing them. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. And regarding Kids versus Aliens, Dax Staley said, can't wait to see this film. And Brian Salmon says, I have this in for review. Haven't watched it yet, but I think I will tonight.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
It's Stranger Thing-esque. Kids cussing, fucking up aliens. Aliens trying to, from the trailer, it looks like aliens are trying to abduct us for our skin because they want to take our skin for fuel.
Oh, God. Sounds like a documentary for Philip.
Yeah.
It looks awesome, and I believe it's coming to Shudder here soon.
Oh, I've got February 15th, Brian. I've got it playing nearby too. I'm ordering my ticket right now. Okay. So, but yeah, Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
That guy has some interesting plans for movies after that. I guess his next one is Peter Pan.
Oh.
And then he wants to do Bambi after that one.
This sounds awesome. I'm totally all in on this.
What kind of people did he find through the
Godzilla?
rights of all this shit? Like,
I think they recently became public domain.
Yeah.
Right.
Those Disney lawyers will come after him.
Regarding Future Kick on the Hail Ming Network, Ricky Morgan says, get a leg up on this one. See what I did there? Future Kick.
Yeah.
Leg up.
Ricky. Jesus Christ, man.
Regarding Evil Dead Rise trailer, Marcus Will Turner says, one of the greatest horror institutions of all time returns for another ultra bloody round of madness, mayhem, and light reading, and chainsaws. Groovy.
Oh, he was talking about the trailer. I thought he was talking
Yeah.
about us.
Hard distinction to make sometimes. CJ Ducote, fuck your name up every time probably, posted a trailer for Baby Blues. Thought the group would like this.
Baby Blues. I don't think I've seen that one. Is
Yeah,
that like It's Alive or what?
Is that an A24
Looked like,
movie that we got to get
I looked
excited
like it
about?
was yeah, it looks like it was a killer baby, I think.
It's the baby.
We gotta look at
You guys ever see The Baby?
Yeah, I watched it. I thought it was pretty good.
Not the TV show. I saw the old movie.
70, yeah,
That's
that
terrible.
was
Yeah,
No.
it's horrible. It's horrible.
I have not watched that.
Pedro, have you seen that one?
No, I haven't.
It's fucking weird.
It's a guy that he stumbles into some lady's house, right? She like dresses him in diapers and shit like that.
Yeah, it's a lady. She's like a social worker. She comes to do a visit on a house, and then she comes to find that the baby's not really a baby. He's a grown man, but they've treated him like a baby, so he has the mannerisms of a baby.
That's weird.
Wow.
There's some fucking weird incest stuff going on. And
Right.
it's weird, Pedro. You should probably check it out.
I am gonna check it out.
Like that one weird redneck X-Files episode.
Oh yeah.
Regarding The Deep, Zim Vader said for a half a second I thought that movie was called Nick Cutter. I think I'd rather see that movie.
Okay. What's The Deep? Is that the Meg part 2 or something?
No, it's a novel. I think it's an underwater horror story. That I think it got some praise from Stephen King, and the rights got snatched up to be a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, but Stephen King praises every other book and movie that's out there, so I don't know.
Literally
man.
everything.
He's
literally everything.
He's helping people eat out here, Lance.
Except his own
which is
shit.
cool.
Helping
He's the
himself.
opposite. He talks shit about his own shit though. That gets adapted.
Does he?
That's
good. He didn't like the Mr. Harrigan's Phone movie, did he?
I don't think anybody did. They should have hired him to be the Donald Sutherland character.
That would have been great. That would have been great. Mr. King's Phone.
Remember when he got that quick payday being that fucking psychotic biker in Sons of Anarchy, and then we never saw him again?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
when he was the cleaner.
Yeah, like that was such a great role for him, and then we just saw him in one episode, never came back.
Right.
He should have had a recurring role like what's his name from the Warriors when he showed up in John Wick and he was the cleaner.
Oh God. Is that the guy that was from the Warriors?
James Remar?
No, the one guy that's like, Warriors come out to play. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Sully from Commando.
Great.
Yeah, T-Bird from The Pearl. Yeah, we know who you're talking about.
Yeah, we just don't know his name.
Oh, is it David Patrick Kelly?
Yeah, that should have been Stephen King in Sons of Anarchy. He should have just, whenever they had a body to dispose, he should have just showed up. And instead of getting paid, he just kept taking like random items from the house.
That would have been funny.
And regarding the Saw X casting rumors, Zim Vader says Costas Mandylor needs to be added next. Hoffman was the best character in the whole series.
There's another one? Shit.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with this one. Tobin Bell's returning. Shawnee Smith's returning. I think it takes place like in between somewhere.
Oh, man. Gotcha.
Does the timeline really matter in a Saw movie?
They're juicy. Now.
Well, they're black widowing this one, right? They're releasing it, but it's like it should have been 4 movies before.
Yeah.
Like right after Civil War.
Yeah, I think it's one of those stories. It takes place between 2 and 3 or 1 and 2 or something.
Regarding the price we pay, Cameron Sullivan says Deacon Frost lives. I understood that reference. Regarding Christmas Evil and Christmas Bloody Christmas, Cameron Sullivan said double feature time.
All right.
Yeah. Regarding our violent night.
Wait, real quick, Phil. Pedro, what'd you think of Christmas Bloody Christmas?
I loved it, and I know Lance hated it.
Oh, come on,
I fucking
dude.
loved it.
I was hoping you were gonna go.
No. Now I forgot. You know what I did? I admit I forgot about it. I should have thrown it in my top 10 because that was a great fucking movie.
Fuck you, man. At least in M3gan, they tried to make it look like an android. This guy was just like a guy in a fucking costume going.
Is that what bothered you, man? Come on.
So the Terminator was. Well, the Terminator wasn't doing the robot.
With the budget.
No, that's what bothered me.
He should have.
That and the dialogue.
So when you watch Terminator, when Arnold shows up, do you get angry because he doesn't look like a robot?
No, because it's well written. It has good dialogue, so makes a difference.
Bagos, I can't wait.
I get angry every time we have to see his schlong though in the beginning of Terminator. That's what really gets me angry for a lot of reasons.
Hey.
Regarding our Violent Night episodes, Zim Vader says they're all good, but this show felt extra fantastic.
All right.
Thank you.
Zim to Lance. Zim says, interesting review of Andor from you. Really makes me think.
Here we go.
I was bored shitless for the first few episodes and actually aborted watching it, but a friend of mine thought it was the best thing he ever. So on his persistence, I resumed watching. Once we got to the jail factory thing, I started to get invested, and by the end, I was like, this is fucking great. I get it now. Then I watched Rogue One, which I was previously 50-50 on, and had a great time with that, and now I'm on Team Andor. Anyway, after Rogue One, I started rewatching Andor with the expectation that this time around I'll love it, since I now understand who everyone is and what all the point of it was. And fucking nope. The first couple episodes are just as shit the second times around.
Oh, no.
I don't know what my point was. I've forgotten. I just think I needed a rant. All the best for 2023.
It's called plotting and pacing. Come on, man. They had 12 episodes. Let them take their time with this shit. I think
it's on some kind of hook, though. I guess Star Wars, the hook on its own.
So Diego Luna committed for 2 seasons, and I think that's the story they're going to tell. So it was supposed to be 5 years before Rogue One, which is season 1. And then season 2 is gonna be it's gonna jump. Supposedly it's gonna go up into the point where so I think season 2 we're gonna have a lot of cameos from the people from Rogue One. That's where it's gonna start to merge with the movie. All right. So it should be a little more action packed, I think. I hope so anyway.
Cameos for more people than just the last King of Scotland, huh? they'll have more in there.
Yeah. Juventud Guerrera or whatever the fuck his name is.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, the juice.
Regarding the Evil Dead Rise poster, Matt Wood says, "Oh dear." I don't know if that's a good oh dear or a bad oh dear.
Good poster. That is not a good poster.
Not a great poster.
Also, the poster for Smile 2.
That's what it looked like.
Regarding our best and worst show, Dean Ferguson says, my favorite films all sucked this year. Jeepers Creepers Reborn, Halloween Ends, The Monsters. Right. Where's the good one? Maybe we'll get a good new Friday the 13th. Let's hope so.
Is this guy in the multiverse where everything's fucking reverse or what? Maybe Kang the Conqueror got a hold of him already.
I think he meant favorite franchises.
I think that might be what he meant.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
Now it makes sense. Okay.
They took his favorite franchises and all the movies sucked.
Yeah.
Shit all over him.
Well, we got a Predator one that didn't suck.
That's true.
Right, that's true. That's
And
true.
we got a Hellraiser one that supposedly didn't suck, although I think it sucked.
Didn't suck
So
as bad as the last one.
it's not all losses here.
All right.
And John Prince says, spoiler alert, I thought Jeepers Creepers Reborn was decent, but not real happy with it referencing the original and sequels as seemingly only movies that exist within the new movie. Going as far as making it look like the fortune teller woman was a real world Giselle, a character in the original Jeepers Creepers. Less good natured, but one and the same. I suppose it wasn't totally a hard line. I suppose it wasn't totally a hard line on that subject, but it did appear to go a bit meta for my taste in separating it from the others. The new-ish creeper design was mostly handled well, but it did set itself apart from the Jonathan Brett creeper, which I prefer.
Yes.
For me, it mostly made up for any shortcomings with some pretty cool sequences inspired by the first 3 movies.
John Prince, respectfully, I have no idea what you're fucking talking about. Respectfully, sir, I don't know you, but that movie is god awful.
Unwatchable.
The only thing I think I have redeeming to say about it is what's his name, the real creeper, the previous director. Yeah, he had nothing to do. He had nothing to do with
Victor
it. That's
Salva.
the only positive. That's the only positive
Victor
thing.
Salva. That's right.
Who did Powder, by the way, which is a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, you didn't like Powder?
Come on, lads, you didn't like Powder?
What do you like?
I don't remember it. Didn't he have like sparks that would come out of his finger or something like that?
It's a sad
He was,
movie.
like,
It's
pale. That's
it's a
all I
movie
remember.
about-
Did Michael Jackson show up in that with Macaulay
No, they
Culkin?
couldn't afford him.
Okay.
There's a pedophile game.
I always heard that Powder was Michael Jackson's dream role. He was aspiring to that. He spent a whole career.
Yeah.
And this is the part of the show where we break limits.
Epstein makes a cameo.
We have Epstein. We have Michael Jackson.
Man,
we have Victor Salva.
No, dude, he spent his whole career preparing to play Powder.
This is the Expendables of fucking pedophiles over here. We got.
Pedro, this is where the show spirals out of control now.
I've been here many times. I've seen it many times.
G Below Brown says Bite Size Halloween was a very interesting show. Bite Size Halloween, have you guys heard of that one?
Yeah, it's they put it out during Hulu. I think it's a collection of short films for Halloween.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
cool.
so it's kind of like anthology. You know, some are good, some are not so good.
Right.
The lazy way to make an anthology.
You okay? You okay, Lance?
I'm good, man. It's like when you go trick or treating, right? Sometimes you get waxed lips, and sometimes you get the good stuff.
Wax lips, man. I remember those.
Still make those?
I think so.
Doubt it. They can't be good for you.
No.
Our show intro and all of our new logos come from Steve Carlton from The Geeks. And be on the lookout for more great stuff from Steve. And our original skull artwork comes from Natsu Lani. So check her out on Instagram. And if you'd like to help us out, please consider becoming a Patreon patron. We'll let you pick the movies for a future show at any amount. And for $5 or more a month, also pick a commentary for a future bonus show. Now.
Somebody pick the black phone. We gotta watch
Somebody will.
The moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for our featured attractions. This week we covered 2007's Dead Silence. And tease our first review of the new year as we talk about the brand new M3gan.
M3gan.
So we'll start with Dead Silence from 2007. A young widower returns to his hometown to search for answers to his wife's murder, which may be linked to the ghost of a deceased ventriloquist.
Well,
fucking
hate it when that happens.
Director James Wan, also known for Saw and Malignant and a bunch of other stuff. Writers are James Wan with Lee Whannell.
As usual.
Yeah. Lee Whannell was so unhappy with the finished product due to the studio interference that he decided to write all future scripts on spec as opposed to pitching an idea to the studio and then being paid to write the screenplay, as was the case with this film.
Yeah, apparently this was not the original film.
Well, good, because this film fucking sucked. Okay. I was wondering why it sucked.
Now I was hoping I wasn't the only one. Due to this film's box office failure, tentative plans for a sequel were abandoned. That's probably a good thing. All right. Well, Pedro, you already broke your silence.
I mean, Donnie Wahlberg's in it, which was kind of a saving grace with the
Rocky Albert Plus.
With his neo-noir detective gimmick he was doing.
Yes, right. In many movies. But I don't know where to even, like, is there even a story here? It just seems like it's one long like, there's a scene here where Donnie Wahlberg and, what's his name? Ryan Kiwanton, another Aussie, Ryan Wanton, whatever, Kiwanton. They're looking for not so much the puppet, but the lady that's controlling the puppet, right? Because I guess he finds out where she's at. That scene where they're just going room to room looking, it's probably like a 10-minute scene where nothing happens. That's towards the tail end of the movie. I mean, what the fuck? Boy. And it just seems so uninspired. Like, you know, his wife dies in the beginning. We don't know why.
You gotta start somewhere. Or I guess this was made right after Saw, wasn't it?
Yeah. He did this one and Dead Silence with Kevin Bacon.
That's how he was allowed to do this one, right?
Yeah, but evidently they set it all up. No, it's just a basic story that takes way too long to tell. I mean, it's literally this guy. Some force kills his wife. He goes looking for who it was. Donnie Wahlberg is on his trail because there's something shady about his wife's death. And he goes back home. He goes back to his hometown for whatever reason, because the puppet had a note with him or some shit. He had a note in the box, right? That just said his hometown. And then he goes to the hometown. He meets his creepy dad, I guess. And then somehow the dad tells him where it's at. The Donnie Wahlberg catches up to him. They don't really even say how Donnie Wahlberg finds them. He just finds them.
Wahlberg follows him. He's like a city cop and follows him all the way up.
Yeah. He follows them.
He's got to shave every 5 minutes.
I think he came out of the set of
Wahlberger on the way.
I think Donnie Wahlberg came out of the set of Saw 2 because he's wearing the exact same clothes.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So Donnie finds them. They go to this fucking abandoned whatever the fuck, and then the malevolent entity attacks Donnie. He gets one special effect shit where his mouth is over his head somehow, and then he's dead. And then that's it. And then Ryan Kitanen fucking kills the benevolent creature, or not benevolent, fucking malevolent, I should say.
Right.
And then that movie's over. That's it. That's the movie.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you forgot about the dad that was the puppet the whole time.
And then somehow
you didn't mention that.
Oh no! The creature wins
World's
at the end.
Greatest puppet.
Because somehow the entire family ends up in this scrapbook of them being turned to puppets. Yeah. And that's the end of the movie. It makes no sense. This movie fucking sucked. I saw it one time in 2007. Never thought about it again. And then I saw it again today.
Yeah, me too.
And I had to scrounge the fucking deep layers of the internet to find this fucking movie. I'm going to tell you that.
Oh, did you?
Because it wasn't available anywhere. But I saw it and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, there's nothing in this movie that happened.
Oh, man. Ouch.
Brian, what did you think?
Okay. Now, you guys know I try to be positive.
Yeah.
I didn't quite like the movie when
Not
I first
as positive as
it.
that Jeepers Creepers guy right now, but pretty positive.
Oh, that guy is over the moon. I didn't like it when I saw it in 2007, and man, do I fucking hate it now. I tried when I found out that they took Lee Winnell's script and just fucking chopped it up, rewritten it, I was like, okay, let me rewatch it. Let me rewatch it and try to see where, maybe I can scrounge where the good parts that he put in there. I can't find them because the story makes no sense.
Oh no.
Pedro broke down the movie in 5 minutes. Just listen to his breakdown. There's not much more to
talk about, really.
That was
listen to his breakdown. Thing, yeah, that's spot on. The part that trips me out is the demon or whatever, the lady, the ventriloquist. She's been in the stepmom the whole time. When did that happen and how? I mean, I thought it was kind of cool how she was using Bob Gunton, the father's character. She was using him as a puppet. How he had he was hollowed out in the back, and she was working him like a puppet. I thought stuff like that was cool. The wife gets killed. Then 5 minutes into the movie, she gets her tongue ripped out. I thought that kind of stuff was cool. But then it's just him running around from building to building, room to room, looking for. I don't even know if he knows what he's looking for. And then Donnie Wahlberg just shows up magically everywhere he goes.
Yes, and there's no point of him being in this movie.
There's really not. He doesn't do anything.
He's got a big old shotgun that he points and he shoots it one time and misses.
Yeah, he just pops up, shaves, tells the guy he's keeping an eye on him, and then walks out, and then he shows up later on where he's at. I'm just like, how are you doing this?
Movie magic.
I really can't say anything good about this movie. This is probably the worst thing I've seen James Gunn do that he's done.
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to say that just knowing how much studio interference was in there. And I wonder because this is getting the Blu-ray, the Scream Factory Blu-ray release here in a couple months. I wonder.
Yeah.
Did they chop up the script, or was there a better movie film that they chopped up the movie? I wonder if there's just stuff that's missing, because like that whole storyline with the stepmom, it just feels like there's chunks of the story missing.
Well, one of the things that
came out of left field.
Yes, it was. One of the things that really pissed me off was the whole motivating factor behind this. There was a little fucking snot-nosed punk in the audience that tells this lady, I can see your lips moving. And that drives everything. That drives the entire fucking curse to curse this entire family. That's all he said. He was catcalling the ventriloquist.
Where the hell was his parents?
And he had no parents around him. Like it was like a bunch of adults. Hopefully Victor Salva wasn't around there. It was this fucking kid that said, fucking, I can see your lips move. And that fucking pissed off this lady.
Oh boy.
And that was
to be honest,
curse.
Which, to be honest, when they did close-ups of her lips were kind of moving.
Oh, you caught that on second viewing, Brian? How many times did you watch this movie?
I watched it. This is a clear shot of him after the kid says, your lips are moving, and her and whatever Slappy from Goosebumps have a fucking argument.
That's what he looked like.
You can fucking see her mouth moving.
You know what was another fucking horrible scene? Just horrible acting. Was when Donnie finally catches up to him, and then he's like, "No, I gotta take her to the station first." And then Ryan Katanen's like, "No, I gotta go now." And he pushes a cop. He pushes and then Donnie was like, "Get over here now. You gotta come here now." And then fucking Ryan Katanen runs to the car. And then fucking Donnie Wahlberg's like, "Oh, Chucks, I gotta go after you now."
Oh, come on, don't make me chase you.
Yeah, don't make me
Oh man.
But that's so like fucking amateur hour shit. Like, what the fuck happened there? And then fucking he doesn't call for backup. He doesn't do. And then when they get to the fucking wherever the demon or whatever is at, we just forget about that entire plot. They just become buddies all of a sudden. Okay, let's go.
Isn't he out of his jurisdiction?
Way out of his jurisdiction.
Yeah. Way out. To go to another city or town.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't think that works.
Like a little New England town or something.
He's like a man in black.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
man.
don't know. This
Philip?
movie was just boring.
Philip, you go ahead, man. I don't have anything to add. I'm flabbergasted. I was gonna try to bring it up a notch by saying at least some of the puppet effects were creepy. Like when they had why did they have to have exactly 101 dolls or something like that?
No, and,
like
then,
the
and then
Dalmatian.
Donnie. No,
on
we
fire at
forgot.
the
We,
same
we
time.
forgot that Donnie Wahlberg goes to
Uh-huh.
the gravesite, and he
Right.
just finds all these fucking empty caskets.
Empty.
And they show him. This is what the funny
Right.
part. They show him on his knees, like he's inspecting every one of these caskets, like one by one. And he flips the lid. He flips over a casket. Like, what do you do? They're gone, bro.
Oh,
he's
man.
just trying to be thorough with his investigation.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you would think with the cast that they had, because I legitimately like Donnie Wahlberg and some stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Bob Gunton's usually, pretty. I mean, he wasn't horrible in this, frankly,
He
but-
was underused.
Even Ryan
Right.
Watson is pretty good whenever he gets some good shit to work with.
Yeah, I like that kid. And with James Wan and Lee Wan-ho, you would think it would be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
But it-
I know it's the disappointment factor.
Definitely was not. Yeah, this is a disappointing movie. I got bored and started playing on my phone at the beginning.
It's boring, dude. I guess that's his biggest crime. It's just fucking boring.
Right? Yeah, that's an unforgivable crime with horror movies, Pedro.
I finally zoned back in towards the end, and just the whole premise of the movie is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie's dumb. That's that's the best description I can give to it.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Mary Shaw's living through the dolls. Shut up.
Their stupid fairy tale thing didn't even rhyme.
Yeah, it was a terrible,
Irritates
terrible
me.
rhyme. Terrible fucking nursery rhyme, man.
Just change the name of the person.
Right?
It's a movie. All right, scores. Pedro?
I'm gonna go 3 on 10.
Oh.
You know what? The only reason I'm sticking to the 3 is because
Uh-huh.
it had Donnie Wahlberg in it, cashing in a
Right.
paycheck, and also some of the shots were like early James Wan trying to figure out his shit that he would eventually
Okay.
get better at later on. So for
Okay.
that, it gets a
Yeah.
3 on 10.
The dead bodies were cool.
That's true. Yeah.
Mhm.
Brian?
I like Donnie Wahlberg's time traveling detective where he just pop up different places. I like Bob Gunton as a puppet. That was kind of fun. But just more and more I think about it. If she's living through the fucking puppets,
Right.
how is she controlling the stepmom?
Great question.
Good question.
Sequel. He was praying you'd get a sequel on this one, wasn't
So when she's in a puppet, is the stepmom like regular and just never notices there's a Bob Gunton puppet sitting in a wheelchair?
Is it a real person that she's
With
possessing,
a
or is
stick
it
behind
her?
it? I don't know.
I don't know. We're asking.
They didn't
too many
really
questions
explain
for this
that.
movie.
Kind of looked like a ghost or something. I don't know.
I did like how I did like the opening kill with the wife, his wife in the beginning. I thought that was cool, and we got that right away. And like I said, the other things I liked, I can't give it no higher than a 2.
Ouch.
Okay. Here's another thing that upsets me.
Oh no. Oh
So
no.
the wife was pregnant.
Yeah.
So Ryan Wanton thought, but this is fucking stupid because we could all deduce it by seeing the opening scene. So there's a big thing at the end where he thinks I'm the last of my bloodline, but this bitch fucking whispers in his ear, she was pregnant, she was the last one, and then that's supposed to be this big fucking but no, motherfucker, it wasn't, because we figured it out. She was pregnant when she got killed.
Well, I guess they should have pulled an Eraserhead and done like an embryo puppet or something. They should have just gone full Eraserhead with it. Gone to black and white, faded to black and white and everything,
This movie would have went to a 3 for me.
Oh man. Am I gonna be the high man on the totem pole tonight? I'll give it a 4 on 10. They were trying, and I think the puppets were creepy looking enough for me to give it, and the kills were good enough for me to give it a 4 on 10. I'm gonna be the high man on the totem pole, aren't I, Philip?
What was the point of the puppets?
There was
They
no
sat
point.
there
It was just
and turned their
it was
head.
just eye candy, man. I just kind of like
And then for some reason
the special effects.
What special effects when they're
I
The
when their
fire,
faces?
Man, special
man.
effects when the face
When
came
they're-
out, it was bullshit.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was pretty bad. All right, three and a half. There
you
I'm
go.
stay up high. There you
That
go.
cost James Wan a lot of money from merchandising. This movie not fucking making any money. I'll tell you that right now.
On IMDb, this movie has a 6.1 out of 10.
There's people that like
James
this
Wan.
movie.
Yeah, James Wan fans.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Syndrome.
Oh yeah, like you were saying, they're drinking the Kool-Aid, Pedro.
Yeah.
Like anything he makes, they're saying it's awesome.
Well, this one was not. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay, I got it. High man on the totem pole. Or is this how the year's gonna go? I'm gonna give the highest
Yes.
grades to every movie. All
I
right,
got that.
We're flipping it this year. Me and Phil
All
are
right.
gonna be low.
let's do it. Flip the script.
Now when
let's
Black
see.
Phone comes out, part 2.
I know.
And it will. And it will.
I'm curious about the next one though. We'll see. M3gan. Brand new one. A robotics engineer at a toy company builds a lifelike doll that begins to take on a life of its own. Sounds like a familiar story. Director is Gerard Johnstone, also known for Housebound.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
So he's Australian or New Zealand, right? Pedro, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. Was the Housebound a New Zealand film?
Yeah,
think
yes,
so.
it is.
Okay.
Way better film than The
yeah.
Boy.
Mm-hmm. Better film than The Boy.
Did he also do that?
If you've seen the premise of The Boy,
Oh yeah.
Right.
You're right.
The twist way
Mhm.
better
Yeah,
done in Housebound.
definitely. Writers are Akela Cooper, also known for Hellfest, based on
that was fun.
based on a story by James Wan.
There you go.
Now,
Okay.
she has since came out and said there is a R-rated version of this movie.
I feel like
I can't wait to see it. I can't fucking wait to see it.
I know. That's gonna, hopefully that.
I
comes
think I read that yesterday. She said
Okay.
there is a R-rated version of the film filmed.
Yeah,
So.
All right.
it looked a little chalked up, and there was some like mouth.
Well,
like I don't think that's what they said there.
You got to get that young crowd in there.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked out. This movie made a killing.
Right.
Got Jason Blum doing cartwheels saying movies are back. So there you go.
Between Avatar and this, right?
So let me start off by saying I'm conflicted. Look, I like this movie a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun, but there was nobody like everybody. There was a bunch of fucking assholes in this movie. Like every single one of these fucking characters.
Well,
what was the name? Gemma. Gemma was the lead character, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You mean the lead asshole?
Yeah, she was the lead asshole. Like, and I get it when you're writing this kind of movie.
Come on, man. She was focused on her work, dude. Come on.
Her sister died.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, but
Spoiler.
dude, there's people who have those. I mean, Pedro, you would know, dude. There's people that have like disassociation, right?
No, I get it.
That might
I
be what she was
understand
going through, right?
That's why
and she refocused on her job.
Yeah, that's why I challenged my own thoughts. And then when the little girl slapped the fuck out of her.
Oh wow, yeah.
I mean, so we're doing what we always do, right? First half is non-spoiler, then we go into So we haven't really spoiled anything. Okay.
Nope.
I really had a great time with this movie. It was fast. They got to the point. There was a lot of decisions that I'll question in our spoiler section that didn't make any sense from a logical person's point of view. Like everybody in this fucking movie was making all the bad decisions you could make to allow this fucking shit to happen. I thought it was it was a fun movie. It's an hour and a half. I can't really get into
get in, get out.
No, I'm saying I want to get into spoiler territory here, but all I'll say right now is that I really enjoyed it. I really,
cool.
For all its faults, it made up for it just by by how much energy it had. You could tell there was a lot of passion behind it. It had a lot of little Easter eggs for horror fans. The Asian guy was hamming it up, and I had a smile on my face every time he was on screen.
Very Jurassic Park style, right?
Yeah, he's actually a stand-up comedian.
Oh, that explains everything. Okay, I didn't know that.
There you go. Got the timing.
I think he stole the movie personally.
Yeah.
And it was a good premise, and also with the technological world that we live in now, I think this is a good franchise in the making right here.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm at. I really like this movie.
All right, Brian.
I have to agree with him. I took my daughter to see this. We watched it last night in the theater. We both had a lot of fun with it. She kind of felt like a lot of the singing, TikTok dance and stuff was kind of cringy. Her words.
Okay, cool.
I told her they threw that in here because that's
Right.
this generation is, that kind of stuff, and
And
I
my theater
enjoy.
responded well to it too. So I mean,
Yeah.
it worked in some places, I guess.
It was
Right.
especially it was pretty funny when she started singing like initially.
Singing.
Yeah. I liked
And the
everything.
Titanium song.
Yeah.
I liked everything they did with Megan. I thought it was real interesting to find out that a lot of the times it was an actual actress playing
Yes.
Megan,
That makes
and
sense.
every now and then they use like a animatronic puppet. I thought it was good use of both. The reason I brought up the R-rated version of the film because for the death scenes you could tell there was more to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of cut away a little bit.
Which I totally understand from a business standpoint. You got to be able to have the younger crowd be able to kind of go see the movie without having to, have your parents with you or whatever.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I'm
And
gonna take all my grandkids to the R-rated version when it comes out.
Yeah.
Shit,
But
I'm trying
I
to
was
raise
gonna
them
say,
the right way.
I was gonna say, Lance, even if that's not what you were trying to do, I think this is a good kind of beginner horror film.
Yeah. Intro to horror.
Sure,
Take them
sure.
intro horror film.
Mm-hmm.
And it's relatable to them. I thought the little girl, I thought she did pretty good. Lance, her older sister, was in the Black Phone.
Okay.
So we'll bring the Black
Everything
Phone
comes
back again.
full circle.
Well, this little girl's been in something too before. I've seen.
The Haunting of Hill House series.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
And she was in the beginning of Dr. Sleep, the little girl that Rebecca Ferguson showing the flower to, and then the True Knot like attack her.
Sure.
So she's been in a bunch of horror stuff. But yeah, I had fun with it. I think this is we're gonna see them pumping out Megan movies because it did really good at the box office, especially opening night. So
Yeah.
and it's
think
a
we got
January movie.
we could have a fun franchise on our hand, and
Well, to a point. Then they're gonna get fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Well, and here's a fun ESPN stat. This is one of the first Hollywood films in the last 45 years to be released on the first Friday in January and obtain a fresh Rotten Tomatoes score. Well, I don't think Rotten Tomatoes has been around for 45 years, so I don't know. How much
but they
that
usually
counts.
dump.
However
Yeah,
long.
this is like dump month, so I could see why.
Yeah,
Sure.
which is probably why they went with the PG-13 rating, and it was probably smart.
and I'm checking the updated Rotten Tomato score. It's still sitting at 93%.
Holy shit.
Critics or
Wow.
audience?
Okay.
Critics.
Okay.
It is 93% on 165 reviews and 80%
Wow.
audience score.
That's good.
It's a
See,
big-
usually
yeah.
you see discrepancy between audience and critics.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Big
winner
sample
right here.
size. Yeah, big sample size.
And I'm looking up the current box office. I think the budget was 15 million. It's worldwide has already grossed 45 million.
Oh, okay. So they're doing
man.
good.
Wow.
So we got Megan 2 coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they
Probably within
already
the
said
year.
it was in development before the movie came out.
In
I
development.
think they knew what they had.
M3gan 2.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it was all based on that trailer.
Yeah.
Right?
I think as much as we laughed about the dancing and the doll dancing around, I think that really piqued the interest of the younger audience, and I think that's why they kind of fast pacing the sequel because I think they know they got a cash cow on their hands.
Yeah, there was some young kids at this movie when I went.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a
Lance?
trip, man. You don't really ever know what's gonna catch on. I know they have people that they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars
Yeah,
to
lots
research
of
this
money.
shit, and it's like sometimes
Right.
it could be the stupidest fucking shit that just catches on and makes that money for some of these movies or television shows or music even. And it's like, yeah, this was it. Just the trailer hit at the right time with the right scenes, and people were hyped for it, and they showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just never know.
All right, Lance, what'd you think?
Oh man. So look, man, I'm not trying to continue the Bagos bashing here too
Yes,
much.
you are.
Oh,
But
Jesus.
Joe, I'm looking at you. You can learn a couple of things from this movie, Joe. Number one, when you have a character that's not supposed to be human, that's supposed to be mechanical, why don't you do me a favor and go ahead and make it actually fucking look mechanical, even when it's a human playing the part? Okay, that's lesson number one. But the big lesson and the big takeaway from this is all about the fucking dialogue. This movie had some phenomenal, very subversive humor in the dialogue. And I don't know if the kiddies got all of it.
Let me
Go
jump
ahead,
in
go ahead.
here. They're
Okay.
not so. This kid is not. I don't want her talking like she's in a Rob Zombie film or the Bomb. And
Oh,
the
man.
reason why
But are we
Megan
totally
was
ignoring the implications of a little girl
Yeah.
robot here?
Look, okay.
yeah, I figured we get there eventually, but the reason why Megan was more human acting because that was her programming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. There were scenes in this movie that I pretty much damn literally fell out of my seat laughing. The humor was just so sublime, and the way that it was just kind of folded into the script like that. And then you had there had one character that was kind of like let's just call him the Wahlberg Jr. character, but he talked right into that part, and he said, "Oh, I didn't mean to laugh at that." It's just I don't want to go too far into it, but it was just a really well written movie. I enjoyed it. Pedro, you nailed it, dude. It was fast paced. It was actually, I think it's more like an hour and 42 minutes. So
Yeah.
a little longer than an hour and a
it
half, but
it seemed like
it went fast. There were
I think
obviously
that was.
some parts.
I think that was a. Sorry, Lance, not to cut you off. I think that was one of the problems my daughter had with it. She said it felt like it was short.
Like it was too short.
And that's always
Like it
good,
kind of-
though. You always want someone wanting more, right?
Okay.
That's a good
No,
thing.
that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's the takeaway. That's the takeaway. There was a couple of parts where you kind of had to, go with it, sort of like.
Oh, there was
like
more
there
than a
one
couple.
stage,
We'll get to in the spoiler section.
Yeah, I know, but like at the beginning, I'll go non-spoiler. So the very, very first thing is how they're testing this one out. And then like it seems like a week later, she's got it totally fucking perfected.
Yeah.
The whole time she had something she was working on that allowed her to do that. Like, well, if that was the case, why did the first one fail so miserably when you guys tested it? But I don't know, man. It was it was a good way to start the year. It was a good movie to start the year with.
Yeah. No, within the universe that it introduced, I could allow some of the quote unquote flaws or plot holes. I thought even for some of the like missteps as far as the technology part, and everybody was grieving, right? That's the whole thing we have to remember is that especially Gemma, like her head is not really quite there because she's got so many emotions. So I could forgive her for like just reacting constantly without really planning things out, right? She's just trying to cope. I don't know about the Asian guy. He's just greedy, but we'll get to that in the spoiler section.
Like I said, Jurassic Park villain all the way.
Yep. And then some of the other like people in the tech group, they also kind of, I have some questions for that as well. But yeah,
they're techies, man. Come on, they're nerds.
I definitely forgave them for their flaws because again, the universe that they introduced allowed me to go with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really liked this a whole lot better than I thought I was going to. I expected it to kind of suck, and
that was the
had
first
a
thing
really
I
good
said
time
when I
with it.
walked out.
Yeah, and I guess we'll talk about some of the really good scenes once we get to spoilers. But yeah, the singing I could have done without. The dancing was actually pretty freaking cool. I thought.
I thought going where because you only get the dancing in the trailer, what the dancing leads into. I thought was hilarious.
Oh man, yeah, that's why I want to say that R-rated version, Brian.
Yeah, definitely. But let's do scores and we'll hit spoilers. Pedro, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with 7 on 10. I gotta watch it again to really, but
Nice.
for now it's 7 on 10. Good
That's
time
a good
at the
score.
movies.
Brian?
I'm gonna go a little bit higher, 7.5.
All right.
Lance?
Yeah, 7.5. I'm going 7.5 also. This could be a contender. It could be. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe. I walked out of there thinking 7, but I think I'm gonna go 7.5 too. I had a good
All
time.
right.
I'd totally watch this movie again.
Cool. So we're all kind of on the same wavelength then.
Yeah.
So-
That's
Yeah.
good.
All right. Spoilers.
The
All
little
right.
All right,
fucking
Pedro.
kid, the one
Pedro, you wanna
shoe.
jump in?
I'm sorry.
So where do I start here? I mean, let's talk a little bit about some of our
Start where
favorite
you want.
scenes. Yeah, again, the Asian guy was hilarious, and he was like we are saying, he's like kind of like the one that just thinking about the money, and he wants this robot to function. They never really think about. There's so many like practical things they never really
Right.
go over, right? Like this is like a lawsuit waiting to happen, even if everything went right, because this robot is supposed to just adapt to whomever it touches first, but it's also constantly getting fed. It's like Ultron. It's getting fed information through like the internet or whatnot. So it's kind of becoming like self-actualized. And we never have one lawyer scene in the entire movie where like the lawyers are like, hey, wait a minute, it just goes from one to the other.
Yeah, they mention it. They said we need to get her in touch with legal.
That's right. You're right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
Give me a
it.
big pay
That's
raise
it.
or something.
Yeah, the main guy does
like,
that.
She was talking about that pet that she made, and it had like a listening device that picked up on child's conversations, and he was like,
Yeah.
"I'm gonna."
Oh, that you.
Well-
say
Yeah, that toy was weird. You activated it by the butt or whatever.
Right? That was kind of funny.
And then another thing that one thing that I didn't like about the movie, again, we talk about how these movies establish the rules. It seems like only when it benefited the story, Megan could manipulate technology. Like when she gets into the car and takes off, like she just knows how to drive the car. But then there's
sure.
But then later on, when she's fighting the bigger robot, he's got a name, right? The prototype. She can't control
the name though.
Yeah, because that's
Bobby or
Bill.
Bobby or Benny or Billy or something.
Billy.
That's with a B.
Billy.
She can't control that robot, right? And so I was like, because it seems like she's got access to all the servers and the whole fucking lazy way of writing, where like this is a robot and the robot could control any technology around it. But for whatever reason, at the end, she can't do that with the robot that finally kills her, or not kills her, but really beats her up.
Maybe that one wasn't online.
Maybe you're right. But I think there's other scenes though where she does control things that are not necessarily online. But that was kind of like I like how she killed like that, like the nerd guy that's in the elevator where she kind of just fucking that. I know that in the rated R scene we're gonna get a better view of that because you could tell that was a cut right there. As far as like Gemma's motivation, again, the grieving part of it, but still like she was very selfish. Like I know she wants to focus on her job, but just I don't like the way it was spoon-fed that she's being a bad like surrogate mother. Like that was very spoon-fed. Like I was like, we get it, And so for a little while there, like everybody was kind of like they were all assholes. The entire characters and the entire movie were like assholes. Even the team, because you had the guy was concerned, right? Let's shut this robot off and let's take her to the lab and check her out. But the other lady was like, no, we gotta, we have a meeting, and it's like, come on, this fucking robot did all this. And I also think like Megan's strength, like at times she was like super powerful, at times she wasn't. So they really couldn't get that either. Like her strength level was kind of up and down throughout the movie, depending on what they needed for that time. What did you guys think of the neighbor, the with the dog?
Oh, I think that's Brian's neighbor that mows the lawn at 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah, I can relate. I would never do anything to anybody's dog, but I can relate on that situation.
I hated that they went the dog route, but the lady was awesome. She was funny.
Right.
the one scene that I thought was hilarious was the boy, the bully in the woods.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
You know
really
that was
cool.
going a different direction in a rated R scene, in a rated R movie.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
nobody is going to pick chestnuts. Come on, what kind of activity is this?
Right.
But you knew where it was leading because when the one Gemma was talking to the boy's mom, and she was like, "Oh, that's my son," and he was like, "Oh, fuck you,
Right,
Holly."
right.
You know,
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, I know
Yeah.
who you, I know where
That was
this
hilarious.
kid's going."
Yeah, a lot of really funny
And
moments.
Mhm.
He was weird acting though. I mean, not his character, but the way the actor
Yeah.
acted. It was
Yeah.
almost like he delivered his lines kind of robotic.
Yeah.
Oh, is
say
he gonna be a
something.
robot in the sequel?
I don't know. It was just weird, but I thought it was hilarious. He got his ear ripped off,
Right.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, pulling the
That
ear.
sucker stretched for
like
a while,
Chappie.
man.
yeah, it's just
I didn't know
it
it
was
could
just
stretch like that.
it was just building up. It was just like he's throwing the
Right.
doll down. He's hurting the girls. He's punching Megan in the face, slapping her, just
hmm
doing stupid shit. And I'm like, okay,
I thought he was gonna do something different, Brian.
Yeah.
Like, speaking of
yeah,
yourself.
because he took the shoe off, and I'm like, are you about to
Right.
undress this doll?
Of course he was.
I think they
And then
wanted
he
to
gets on
think
top
that
of
for
the
sure.
and then he gets on top of the doll, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
am
Here we go.
this is feeling weird and uncomfortable. And I know there's a lot more to the him getting run over. I know there has to be
Right,
more to
right.
that scene right there.
That was cool when she like got down on all fours and was running through the forest and shit.
Yeah, that was cool.
This robot did look creepy, man. I like the way that she
Mhm.
walked. I like the way that she moved. And like I said, the dance scene in the hallway, I thought was a really good lead up to a really great kill. It was like
Mhm.
funny and kind of creepy at the same time.
I
So,
like the reactions
Yeah.
to the doll from other people because it was
Yeah.
Oh,
neither
yeah.
you get
Holy
the
shit.
you get first some characters you would get like what's the little girl's name, because they're not really
Yeah.
noticing that as a robot, but then you got the others that are like seeing her and like, oh, what the fuck, what is
the psychiatrist?
Yeah, and I also like the fact that they kind of explained. They always had a nod, like she's a prototype. That's why she kind of looks weird. So it wasn't even like, how come nobody ever did
Okay,
anything? Because
all right.
Megan does have a lot of interactions with like peripheral characters throughout the movie, right? But it's never weird because it's just understood that she's like a prototype doll, and eventually she's gonna be in a lot of households. So it's
Yeah,
something new for the people seeing her for the first time, which is okay. It's not like this character's like running rampant throughout the fucking movie and nobody's just questioning it,
Yeah. And going back on what you were saying, how she it seemed like a week later she had it working. If you remember, the reason why the other model exploded is because the one tech guy forgot to put that part in. That one.
Okay. Ah, okay. All right. So that makes sense. So
it could have
they
possibly
didn't account for that.
it could have possibly worked like the Megan we seen then at first if he would have put that part in. That's how I took it.
Ah, that's awesome. I like that. Great explanation. So you explained away the only real problem I had with the movie.
Well, and we've got that real AI chatbot thing that's out there now. You guys heard of that?
Yep.
Yeah.
The one that
and,
spews out hate mail or whatever allegedly.
Does it?
I don't know. I was
the
reading
chat
some
bot
article about
and Elon's brain
Neuralink.
chip. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
that's
we're,
right.
Yeah, we're headed for a real life Megan scenario happening.
Yeah,
Sure.
We're either gonna have iRobot or the Borg, one or the other.
But yeah,
or Terminator.
I see a sequel happening because at the very end, you see, I think she maybe had transferred her consciousness or whatever into the home Alexa kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
they definitely.
And I'm
left
going
it
to
open.
say that rich old guy from the company is going to kind of clean up everything and pursue the Megan project, and
which is what happened in Child's. That is the storyline of Child's Play Part 2, by the way.
Yeah,
and it worked.
Yep. And it worked.
They're gonna scrape Megan off, and they're gonna redo her little head, and off she goes.
There you go.
That's what this is. iRobot meets Child's Play.
Yeah. This is a lot better than the Chucky remake, that's for sure. That fucking Child's Play remake where he was named Buddy or whatever. But I know Nez loved it. Brian, did you like
great.
it?
Yeah, I liked it for what it was. It could have been
right.
something else than Child's Play, but if it wasn't Child's Play, nobody would have watched it.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Were you guys
Buddy
ready to wrap it up?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
You guys ready to wrap it up? We covered a lot tonight. We don't,
Well,
we don't want Pedro. We don't want Pedro yelling at us that we're doing a 3-hour movie here.
No, I'm okay. No, the only thing too is that
too late.
Did they ever explain how she was able to override the turnoff thing that she had, because she just starts doing it like a couple of times? You know, she had this thing where you could turn it off just by giving her a command, and then she just kind of overrode it, and they never really told us how. I'm sure maybe they did and I missed it, but
yeah, that's what I'm wondering, Brian.
That's nitpicky shit, but it was. I mean, it was a great movie regardless, I thought.
Yeah, I would have to watch it again. Now that I'm thinking about it, it just kind of seemed like she just somehow hacked into the system and was able to override it without anybody even.
She was writing her own code.
Which it was weird how she was like shutting off the video feed and all the all that kind of stuff, and nobody even noticed anything. And it seemed like the tech crew, that's kind of like their job. And they didn't notice there was all these corrupted files or unknown files, and you couldn't get into anything.
And then the way she kind of overpowered both of them, you know, to kill both of them, and so that was kind of. But again, we forgive that because the story needed it at that time, I guess.
and it was kind of a startup company, you know. So it's not like they got billions of dollars.
Every time she like overpowered her or something, I don't know. I just found myself sitting in my theater chair like throwing punches, like, you know, punch the shit out of Megan.
But you're saying ones that are because here's the thing. Let's be real though. If a dog gets a jump on all of us, they're gonna startle us. So we're trying to process this living fucking doll, and by the time we do, we're dead. So I accept that. But there was time where they were going toe to toe already with this fucking doll, and she was still more powerful. So it's like that's a little more like, come on now. But yeah, I could
because there's a scene, I think in the final act where Gemma and Megan are fighting. I think there's one scene where she's choking her.
Yeah.
But then later there's a scene where she kind of knocks her across the room. So if you have the power to knock someone across the room, when you first were choking her, you should have snapped her neck instantly.
Yeah.
But it's a movie.
Yeah, that's cool. Well,
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think we all enjoyed it. We were kind of on the same wavelength on this one. Pedro, thanks for coming by, dude.
Thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure. And I guess I'm gonna look forward to the old March Madness Sweet 16 tournament that we always do.
Oh yeah, yeah. We still Brian. We still planning to do best like A24 film or something like that.
No, is that what we're going with it this year?
I thought we were.
Yeah, it's perfect. I think they have to be. They have to be horror films, so they can't
elevated horror. Elevated.
Yeah, we don't want
best,
Lola or whatever
elevated.
that movie was called.
Okay. All right, best elevated horror, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Shit, March is right around the corner.
We're going highbrow.
Man. All right. Well, as always, we want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of The Horror Returns. You can always find us at thehorrorreturns.com. Pretty simple. Or email us at thehorrorreturns@gmail.com. Next week, Brian, do you know what the two movies are? I know that Steve Carlton is going to be joining us, and they were two mystery movies, but I think he finally made his decision the other night.
It will be Digging Up the Marrow and Leslie Behind the Mask, the Leslie Vernon movie.
Always wanted to see that one.
I don't think I've seen either one of these.
Yeah, Leslie Vernon is really good. I love it. It's really funny, and it's a take on serial killers. It's a good little movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we're getting Steve to come on a show that has nothing to do with Scream.
Yeah.
What do you know? All right. Well, I guess that means, Brian, until the horror returns again.
Good night.